All right, listen, sit down. We're actually on time today, so if the audience can take it easy, then we can actually get started on time. Thank you so much. Guys, we've got an outstanding show for you tonight. Just an insane panel I was able to put together. We've already got an amazing 100+ people here in the chat. I know that's just getting started. Guys, everybody in the chat, you're just as strong as we are on the panel. Remember that. Tweet it out. Let everybody know that we're live. It is going to be a fantastic show. Shout out to Doggy Dog who says the super chat's working. We love Mooch. We love Mooch. That's so true, Doggy Dog. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Guys, we have an outstanding show, and I do want to say thank you to every single one of the Mooch Maniacs. You guys have made this channel grow just unbelievably in the past, especially in the past 2-3 months. I want to do a roll call real quick and thank all the Mooch Maniacs on the member channel. Sir X-Man, Masshole 1977, Midway Monster, JudaZuk, WoolleyGamer, Ben Link, TrueWiddy, The Wise Old Gamer, Failed Pyromancer, Frostbite Slash, EDM Gamer, Jacob Evans, Tactical Gamer, our major Mooch Maniacs, 4-star General, Matt Bradley, Shaun Slamka, Lucifer, Brian B, a.k.a. Delirium Blades, VIP Mooch Maniacs, Remarkable Knights, Van, a.k.a. the Butcher Van, Marty Bison, otherwise known as the Great Marty Bison, Rich Kreischer, Rated D Demonic, Doggy Dog 420, and Percolator 9000. Honorable mentions are Wraith The Emperor, who is with us. I'm sure he'll be back in the family. Ice Queen Gaming, the great Wilmy Hood, and Longshot 316, who is forever Mooch Maniac. I see all you guys in the chat, man, saying good luck. Mooch, love the video. Thank you guys so much. Raleigh1479 with a thumbs up. Thank you for that. Let's get to our introductions, guys, because we've got a lot of topics to talk about. And as you know, crap keeps me to only 2 hours. That being said, I've got the one, the only. He's unscripted. 2 videos a day. He does it for you, not for me. The Crap Gamer. Crap, how the hell you doing today?
Como estás? What's up? I almost came up with the my old school saying, but yeah, I decided to just kind of wing it. Hey, it's good to be here. Lots of cool stuff to talk about. Consoles are coming, and so it's just going to be a fun time. And we got some new information today, so that's always exciting as well. And I'm just excited to get in there and kind of talk about some things, especially when it comes to PlayStation 5 and doing some things that people swore up and down they couldn't do.
Yeah.
Interesting. Funny that, huh? Oh, also fun to see some of the Xbox dudes, the tried and true, come out and go, huh, it's weird. We haven't seen anything actually running on a Series X.
That is odd.
People coming to that kind of realization. And also I've gotten a few, Gamer was right. You feel vindicated. And I got to say, it does feel a little bit good to hear that. I just got to say that, you know what I mean? It's not a views thing. It's not a subs thing. It's not a attention thing. It was always a thing that I didn't, I saw the direction and things like that happening with Microsoft. And I said, hey, guys, this is going to happen. And it's happening now. And now people are like, damn, maybe we shouldn't have been so harsh on CG. You know what I mean? Yes. Just saying. So, yeah, anyway, it's good to be here. Nice to, be here. You got to get 10,000 subs, man. Everybody subscribe.
I'm trying my best, crap.
Share it out. Get this guy to 10,000, man. He deserves like quadruple that and more. So
appreciate it.
Do your thing, guys, and like it and share it out. And it's going to be a good show. So.
Well, I'll give Crap a little bit more credit. He's been saying to me over and over again, you got to get more videos. So, guys, right below the description, I did link the video that I made and released about 2 hours ago. So do please check it out, guys. Click on that link. Give that video a look after you watch CrossFire. That being said, let me go to the one and only. He comes from Redmond, Washington. Not really. But he's the Xbox Defense Force. Xbot 448. Xbot, how the hell are you doing tonight?
What's going on, people? What is up, Mooch, Crap, rest of the panel? Guys, I survived Tornado Geddon in Connecticut yesterday. It was absolutely insane. We're not supposed to get that weather here, man, but for some rhyme or reason, man, this was a hot spot yesterday. And I still pulled off 2 live streams while all that was going on.
Two?
Yeah,
man.
2. One of them I could definitely forget about because it was definitely forgettable. The show that we were watching,
man. You're humping, man. I like it, man. Nice,
dude. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying, man. Yeah. But definitely, it's Friday. Looking forward to this. Already see the chat scrolling.
Yes.
Let's keep it going, people. Let's go.
Appreciate that. Shout out to War Machine guy. He says, Mooch, Joseph Staten is coming back for next Halo. War Machine, thanks for bringing that up. That's going to be our first topic. But let me get to the man who goes to work and keeps his ear to the ground for you folks. That's the one and only Gaming Forte. Forte, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good, man. You know, fighting sleep deprivation, putting all these videos and still playing games on the back end and having to go to work and come home and do Crossfire on a Friday.
Yes.
So, yeah, man, it's a lot of really interesting stuff that happened over the weekend, man, and throughout the week. So can't wait to chalk it up with you guys and the rest of the astounding panel you put together for this, bro.
Appreciate that, Forte. It's always great to have you here with us. And then I've got our special guest here. We'll do a quick lineup here. You guys know him as the PlayStation Nation leader, Jay Barry. Welcome back to Crossfire, buddy. And it hasn't been the same since you left. Jay, how you doing tonight?
Whoa, Mooch, PlayStation Nation leader. Whoa!
I promoted you. Congratulations, by the way, on that.
Oh man, listen.
Don't tell J-Dub I said that though.
Yeah. I appreciate the invite, man. It feels good to be a PlayStation gamer though. Play has no limits, and just hearing crap every Friday is just like it's a beautiful thing, man. Like I'm Xbox, man. You got some defense today, man. But it's gonna be a good show. I'm looking at the topics, man. I'm very, very excited, man. Let's get it.
Awesome, Jay. Good to have you here. And then I got my buddy here. The voice of reason, folks, is on the show. So in case anybody says something that's a little out of line, just prompt Eric J in the chat, and he'll take care of it. Eric, great to have you back on the show, buddy. How are you tonight?
Man, I'm doing great. You know, it's always awesome when you ask me to be on. It's always a cool panel. Ready to chop it up with you guys, you know.
All right, E, we're going to definitely be coming to you for, as I said, just some sanity tonight. So be ready, E. And
I'll try to give you some, man, but I don't know. Lately, I've been losing my mind, I think.
Well, that'll happen sometimes, especially around console releases.
So at least you ain't got Slow-Mo here to, have to break me and him up, E.
I spoke to Slow-Mo before the show, so Slow-Mo says he's going to make it in the chat. He still gives you shit from there, Gaming Forte. So, you're not out of the woods yet, my friend. But listen, this next special guest that we have, honestly, I got to do a tribute and a thank you to Hustle and Motivate. Shout out to Hustle and Motivate, who's out there and actually got Erica and I to actually reunite and discuss over Twitter. And let me tell you, ever since, we have been in touch and actually collaborating with Twitch and streaming. So Eric Cuts for the win. It is an honor to have you on the show for the first time, and it won't be the last time. How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm good. Shout out to Hustle.
Yes.
Behind the scenes, making that happen. Yeah, happy to be here. Hello to the chat. I'm Erica. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Erica. So like I say, chime in often and early on Crossfire.
Jesus, she just got a huge donation. Let's call it a night.
Well, I was...
Podcast over.
Crap's like, let's go to Sizzler. Let's get out of here.
Let's just go, man. Want to go to the Sizzler Mooch? Come on.
Shout out to Jessica Pham. She says, PS5 day one. Hope this helps towards your PS5. Jessica, you are a god amongst ants. Thank you so much for that. You are forever a Mooch Maniac.
Paid off right
yeah, my God. Geez. I think that's a card payment.
Listen, reference Grounded.
Head over to my channel next Sunday. Come on.
Next Sunday. I like how you jumped a week, Crap. That was great.
I know. Well,
right?
It's your week again.
I know it's my week. Naturally. Yeah, oh, God. Jessica, thank you so much for that. Thank you. Panthorium, he says, Sony has got to stop making launch titles. I'm going to blow the bank between the console, 3D headset, charger, and games. I'm going to need to take out a loan. It is the accessories that they have coming out.
It's okay. Didn't you hear? It's called a window. Like they're doing a window, bro.
There you go. Xbox just saved your wallet.
There
it is. Okay, so Xbox, I appreciate that. You're always looking out for people, and I do appreciate it.
I try, man.
Let me do this. So, while everybody kind of shuffles in, please do hit the like button, guys, and do retweet it out. But let's get to our first topic here, and I'm going to start with Crap. Crap, this is something that, I guess was much needed. Halo Infinite needed help, right? So they get Joseph Staten, right? He comes in. He's definitely the man behind the man when it comes to Halo, apparently. But at the same time, they still lost the launch window. And can he salvage what 343 is kind of messed up already?
Well, here's the thing. Stop me if you've heard it. Microsoft pumping more money into a game, bringing in Joseph Staten to help, because this also was a theme with Recore, and this was also a thing with Crackdown 3. They did that both those games. He went in and supposedly helped those games launch. those didn't turn out very good. I think
Right.
this is a slightly different story. Thankfully, since his home is Halo, he helped write the first 3 Halo games, wrote a couple of Halo novels. That's his kind of wheelhouse. The thing that I would question is if Halo is still going to come out at the end of next year, how much help can he possibly be? You know what I mean? Like all the stuff that would have to been written and all the stuff that would have to be already there. Now, if it's true that the game might not come out till 2022 holiday, then I would say that Halo would have a much bigger chance. Anyway, you look at it, Halo has to be right and it has to be huge. Like you don't spend all that money and get all these people and you have all these people coming in and working there and having a mediocre game release. Like Halo has to go back to being what it was, which is like this great franchise. The problem is a lot of these behind the scenes things are now out in the public view,
Right.
like dirty laundry aired. We're seeing this kind of come up time and time again. They deny it, or whoever that is, the community manager, which, I mean, that's his job basically, right? What's he going to say? No, it's a wreck. And, things are falling apart. He's
Right.
like,
he just wouldn't say anything. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
no, they have to put a good face on there, right? But I mean, listen, the
why
rumors.
is it a good face when he says it, but on the flip
So,
side, and
Xbot, do you not think it funny that he's denying all this bad stuff, and then the next day they put 2 new people in charge?
Well, not necessarily, and I'm not even like praising the stars or anything that Staten is back in there, because if you look
It's
at
not
the
just
history,
him. They also brought in a brand new person to head up the multiplayer portion as well. So
Yeah.
it's not just a single player, it's the multiplayer as well. So that's a double kind of whammy in my opinion. And the fact
double
of the matter
whammy.
is,
If they're trying, if they're doing what they need to get the game out.
Xbot, is that normal for a franchise, a huge franchise, to replace both the multiplayer and the single player managers with new people less than a year before launch? Is that normal for a healthy game?
It's not.
Well, obviously, when they showed the game out,
It's kind of a yes and no answer, really. So no, it's not normal
never
for a
give
healthy.
me a yes or no answer. Anyway.
I mean, that is. I mean, is it? Listen,
you can't ask
is that?
for something
Let me
you
ask
don't
this,
give,
Jay Barry. Is that a healthy?
Yeah, Coach Jay.
No, I'm just saying. This is a yes or no answer, Jay Barry. Is that a typical? Is that healthy for a game with the multiplayer and the single player to replace both the leadership positions a year away from launch? Is that healthy?
No, it's not healthy.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying, right? Like, listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. We can sit there and talk all day about this kind of stuff, but it's clear that they had one of the main people leave, and then 30 days later, another person left, and you have the guy, what's his name? He lives in people's bushes, hearing if there's like unhappy workers. Jason Schreier.
Jason,
that guy said that it's been a dumpster fire, and that they're having a lot of problems because contractors are only allowed to be hired.
So
for,
now you're
18
quoting
months.
Schreier when I've noticed before when he talked about Naughty Dog and stuff like that he was just hiding in the bushes, and what he's saying
No, he is. That's what he's doing.
irrelevant. But now you're quoting
hiding,
him.
No, listen, he is hiding in the bushes. But the thing was, when he was reporting on Naughty Dog, did you see what he reported on? The one guy is like, he worked a 45-hour work week. Don't bust me up on that. I mean, come on. That's all I'm saying. Like, there's a difference between that and what's going on with Halo. Like, Halo has bad leadership. 343, bad leadership. It's terrible.
I'm not disagreeing. And if it comes down to it, if some of those rumors were true, if the heads of 343 were just saying yes to whatever the Xbox division was asking for, and not even talking to their developers and stuff like that to get a plan of attack in place, that is bad leadership. So bringing new people in to take over that spot, hey, we got to talk to the developers before we just bow down and just say yes to the Xbox division. I look at that as a good thing. When it comes down to it, people have said a lot of things about the look of Halo and all that good stuff. I also saw potential in what they were doing as well. They got to bump up the detail on the armor, on even the enemies as well. But they're really not that far away from having a Halo game. Mm-hmm. All right, and to have them
Halo game you want it though.
Me personally,
great question, Forte.
Me personally, I'm more in the vein of let 343 make the Halo that they want to make, and I have gone on record stating that one of the main things about this, one of the main kind of setbacks was they were listening to the old school Halo community. But the good part about that is what they took from it, I can get into. That exploration when it comes to the campaign and the story and maximizing that part of it, I can definitely, fall in line with. I can definitely root for that.
I mean,
But-
Xbox,
they said that, but was there really evidence that that's what was going to happen? You know what I'm saying? Because you look at that, I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm looking at Halo Anniversary all over again.
Right. Thank you. And the other thing too is how much can we credit what these tweets are coming out of 343? And I won't specifically name names, but there's people who've been like, no. Remember when everybody thought the multiplayer would launch separately? No, the multiplayer is going to launch day and date single player, and it's definitely coming out this holiday, right? So it all was a farce. It really wasn't ready. I don't know how long they were going to kind of pull even Phil's leg. What I'm wondering is, when we say there's a leadership issue, I want to know how far up the food chain that this goes, because you have to stop and think for a second. This was the only thing that Xbox had in their launch lineup was Halo. So you would think that they would keep this near and dear to their heart, right? All the way up to Phil Spencer. So when we say there's a leadership problem here, there's a major communication breakdown. Not only the fact of what we heard about the contractors and the 18 months and all of that, and that lack of communication when those folks have to leave, and then the actual full-timers have to actually take that and understand the code, and that's where there's a breakdown there. There's a problem when you say Xbox had all their eggs in one basket for Halo Infinite. And then at the end, when it comes down to it, this game is not nearly ready. Now, Erica, I'm going to kind of go to you here because I want to see what your take is. You can even start from before at the July 23rd showing of when you first got your eyes on Halo Infinite, all the way till we found out about the delay. Were you scratching your head saying this doesn't look ready? Or no, you know what? Halo's been tweeting out that they're on time and on course. I'm buying what they're putting down.
Well, it's definitely been looking spooky. Anybody who knows me, though, I usually stay quiet during Halo topics. So I'm not really the Halo fan. I'm a Gears head. Mm-hmm. So the first thing I did when I heard about this Joseph Staten coming through, I asked my Halo friends, like, is this equivalent to like a Cliffy B coming back? And they said yes. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but to me, I thought of it in two ways. It's like, okay, well, it's kind of good because it's like if it was Gears, and I use that as an example, if it was Cliffy B, I'd be like, that's cool. But at the same time, it's kind of showing, well, maybe it's really that bad to where they're like grabbing this guy and having him come back, maybe paying him a lot of money or something. I have no idea.
He was already working at Microsoft. He was already working at Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, I know,
he
but
was,
his
but
history,
he
I guess.
wasn't on Halo for a while, though.
Right. But with his history and like he's like the, I guess, quote unquote expert coming in. So I just sort of try to tie it to like how I would understand it, like with Gears. But from what you're saying, Mooch, like from the showing in July to now, yeah, as an outsider kind of looking in, I play Halo here and there, like multiplayer, but campaign wise, yeah, it did not look good. It looked like it needed more time. And so it's like the delay I thought was great. I thought that's good. But having this guy come in and just kind of the rumors and the speculation, like their development is in trouble.
Yes.
It's just like I think Crap said it, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's like, yeah, there's something definitely going on. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like I said, I'm not a huge Halo fan, but as an outsider, I could definitely see it. You're like, yeah, it's kind of spooky.
Erica, let me just...
Expo,
let me just take care of a couple of the super chats, and then I will give you guys the microphone back. I apologize. Daniel Gonzalez says, I'm so happy to see some of the most devoted Xbox content creators are starting to call Xbox out for their BS. Daniel, I think we're going to get into that, and I think that is a good thing. I am LMNOPO says, Fall Guys. He's very excited. J-Dub, shout out to J-Dub. He says, shut up, Xbox. He goes, Craig is not the way, and Xbox is dead. Embrace your Sony PlayStation overlords now. Phil needs to go. Total failure. Shout out to J-Dub, who's here. Shout out to 00 Rain, who's also here. He says, this game is a complete...
I just imagine him like coming in the door and pushing.
I can too, right?
Shaking like, shut up, Xbox.
He gonna need some muscle behind that arm to do that.
He's got nothing but love for you, Xbox. He's got nothing but love for you. This game is a complete and utter mess, says Rain. He says, Crap and Mooch, you were right when you brought up concerns earlier in the year. People should have listened. Sir X-Man, the great Sir X-Man's here. He says, I think Halo Point, I think he means Halo Infinite, is on point, is like what they did in Outer Worlds, going to different missions on the side to help you improve yourself. Jay Bari, who's on the panel and in the chat, 2 in places at once.
Whoa.
Hashtag get Mooch to 10,000 Mooch streams. Bug snacks. Thank you, Jay, very much. It's out of my heart.
Oh, yeah, we can make
Bug
that happen.
snacks.
And Sir X says,
we gotta make that happen, guys. Mooch stream,
I appreciate that, Jay. I truly do.
Just real quick on Staten as well. Like, I don't look at this person like, of course, the old school Halo community is going to look at him and they're going to praise him like like the PC Master Race praises Gabe. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at him, he was pretty much in charge when Halo 2 was in development, and we all saw that they basically cut that game off at the end. I don't know if people remember, but once people started playing the campaign for Halo 2, once they saw the ending, people were pissed off. Like, and he had a problem with scheduling and stuff like that as well. He could not hit the parameters that Bungie at that time needed to hit as well. So I'm actually putting more faith in the 343 developers, not the heads.
What?
Not the heads. Compared to stage,
I need to put you on the couch. Let me put you on the couch.
What is his role? What is his role currently right now?
He's the creative. He's going to be the creative lead for the campaign going forward.
Oh, so that tells me that the story itself had an issue.
Exactly. But I love you, man. Let me, because I'm wiping my eye and I'm trying to not have a headache right now. So
before he goes in, I just want to let you guys know he's old school Halo, by the way.
So
okay.
No, it has nothing to do. This has
no, he is old school Halo.
Oh, definitely am. That's why I still play Destiny every day, because it's the closest thing we're ever going to get to another Halo game, unfortunately. But let's be for real. There was smoke a year ago when everybody in this freaking community was talking when Tim Lego left, and they said, oh, you know what? People leave. 3 months later, Mary Olsen left. Oh, you know what? It's fine. We ain't hear no smoke. It was fire and stuff back then. Everybody's like, oh, next man up. They gonna be perfectly fine. They blow you guys away with a demo of showing you some stuff at the VGAs with a system, and everybody's like, oh yeah, cool. Halo gonna be perfectly fine. Guess what? Who's been on this panel for the last year? Who's been on Twitter for the last year telling y'all that 343 ain't what y'all think they were?
I wonder who you're gonna say.
Oh my god! I don't have to say it. I don't even have to say it because everybody knows who he is. It's the simple fact of the matter is, dude, people have given 343 this crown just because they inherited a $5 billion franchise. They feel like just because they are the keepers of Halo, that they were actually going to make something great out of Halo. I'm sorry.
343 created, in my opinion, the best campaign with Halo 4 and the best multiplayer in Halo 5. Okay,
exactly. You just gave 2 different freaking games that are not even the same product. So the whole problem to this is, yes, they literally get, okay, granted, I'll give you great campaign in Halo 4.
Yep.
Great multiplayer in Halo 5.
Yes.
What happened with the Master Chief Collection? What happened with that game? A game that literally worked. All those games individually worked until 343 decided they wanted to make it so it had this seamless transition to go from one place to one game mode to another game mode. And they couldn't even make that work. And guess what? We had to wait 3 years for it to work. And guess what? Even on PC, when they started releasing those separate entities of those games on PC, Halo 1, buggy as heck. Halo 2, buggy as heck. Halo 3 actually was a godsend because they didn't have any problems with that one, but that just lets me know the ineptitude that's going on at that company. And then let's just go back to the Halo 5 single player look incredible. The Halo 5
that's the thing. It didn't.
Single player.
I didn't think so.
I will say Halo 5 campaign.
Hold on, did Halo 4 have a great looking single player? Oh yeah, go answer the question. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
All right.
Did they?
When it released, Halo 5 looked incredible, but I am gonna say it did not age well.
I don't care if it aged well, but
I've never heard that before.
When you looked at Halo 5's multiplayer, dude, let me tell you what 343 did. What they did.
Oh man, Forte's on fire.
Let me tell you something.
They gave you one of the best. They probably gave you one of the best opening cinematics to a Halo game I've ever seen at Halo 5. I was blown away.
Oh yeah, that opening scene was fire. That opening scene was fire.
That was by far the best. Like that was above what Bungie ever
Forte.
did. They made you truly feel what a Spartan was like at the beginning of that game, and then they just dropped the ball. But guess what we saw in Halo Infinite? The one thing that we knew they were good at doing was making a great looking game. How did they drop that ball? How do you drop the ball that bad on the way the presentation of your game?
They tried to create a Bungie game. That's why.
I gotta be honest with you.
Come on.
If anybody in the chat's ever wondering why Xbot44 is the defense lawyer for Xbox, that was an outstanding answer from Xbot if he was on the stand. Right?
Absolutely.
He says, well, I thought it looked great, but it didn't age well. I've never heard that in my life.
When it first released in 2015,
Xbox, that was master litigation,
it
bro.
looked really good. But when it came down to the low-res textures, and especially in the walking stages, it did not age well. And I say that to my Halo fans that are in my Xbox Live parties. You know, when that question comes up and stuff like that, I will be 100% honest of my opinion. All right, and I feel like I felt like Halo 3 in the Master Chief Collection. I'm like, it looks the same.
So let me do this real quick.
I didn't like that look either.
Slow-Mo's talking to you here. Sir X-Man real quick in the Super Chat said, see, I was right, Mooch. I'm glad you understand now. Sir X-Man, you're always right as far as I'm concerned. Slow-Mo backslap. He says, Xbox 448 thinks that the 343 devs are going to ignore the director. The tornado hit his house and a branch flew through a window and gave him a concussion. Shout out to Slow-Mo backslap who made it to the show.
That was good, man.
Great to have Slow-Mo here.
My question
ahead,
is like, was anybody willing to play Halo Infinite the way how it looked at that presentation? Like, if Halo Infinite was to launch this holiday season, would you be okay with that?
Not the way I saw it, not the way it stands.
Oh, but people were.
Do you guys think they would have released it like that if people wouldn't have spoke up?
That's the question of the ages, crap.
Good question.
Yeah, I think they
would say
I think
they would have.
That would have released if there wasn't an uproar and Craig wasn't a meme.
They was ready to go. They was ready to go.
Because of Game Pass, you think they're just going to kind of make it better over time?
It worked with Sea of Thieves, right?
They planned it.
Yep.
They said a 10-year game when it came to Halo Infinite. So I could definitely see them releasing that.
Listen,
and
Rainbow
correcting it over time.
Rainbow Six Siege is something like that. Like that game got review bombed and people hated it at launch, and now it's one of the most played games ever because they updated it. I'm not saying that's right because I always think if a game launches and it's for sale and it's a full price game, it should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I'll point to a game. All right, we can look at Ghost of Tsushima. You beat that game. It's got a beginning, middle, of an end. Great story, all that kind of stuff. And then they're adding something later on, right? Which I think is really cool. But it's not like it needed anything. I would have been fine with it without the thing that they're adding. But the fact of the matter is that they're just adding that is extra value. Same thing with something like Days Gone. They added like that horde mode or whatever. That was pretty fun. That's cool because that wasn't announced. It was unexpected. But like to launch something into Game Pass and just go, well, we'll fix it later, because I think that sets a bad precedent for their first party. Because if you look at it, Sea of Thieves did that, and so does State of Decay 2, and then of course Grounded. I know that's a unfinished game or whatever, but that's another game that was realistically unfinished. And same thing with Bleeding Edge. Supposedly a game in the works for almost 5 years, and it launches with 8 characters and 4 levels or something, and they basically just left it to die. And so I think that that's one of those things that they can't really realistically keep doing. You have to prove that this isn't basic cable. Okay.
Man. That's a good segue.
Somebody, does somebody owe crap $10 for working that into the show?
Hey, people want HBO and stuff. They don't want that basic cable. I'm just saying.
But I think a lot of people they shit on Bleeding Edge too much, though. In my opinion, I think Bleeding Edge was pretty good.
I tried to play it.
It was too slow, Jay.
It needed a speed boost. It needed some balancing, but it's not a bad game, in my opinion.
Right.
I mean, listen. The problem is console MOBAs have a high. You have to play them and grind them a lot. And I noticed that like people on console for the most part don't like to do that kind of stuff, like teamwork where you got to do call outs. Like everybody wants to go in, by themselves or whatever, and that game requires a lot of like
the Destiny 2 community would probably disagree with you, bro. About
I don't know anything
grinding
about
and
Destiny
teamwork
2.
and all that good stuff.
Well,
man.
that community is different from a lot of other. Most communities don't want to do that. It takes a special individual that wants to do that.
Well,
but you know what, Xbox, I'll give you this. One thing about the situation before we turn it back over.
Is it a late birthday present? Because you missed it in January, man.
As mad as I am at 343, and you guys know I don't get amped up on conversations.
You don't.
Oh, no, you amped up today.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I just
Well, Forte, I'm amped up over this one, and I don't get amped up.
343 is just that thing that's like that. It's like your favorite child is held hostage by something that you just can't stand. And that's what 343 is to me. But I don't even blame them fully for this. I blame Microsoft for this too, because they put all of these mandates on them to be able to say, we want it to be 100 up to 120 frames per second for multiplayer. We want 4K, 60 frames per second. We want open world environments. We want it to work on multiple generations of platforms. And guess what? 343 wasn't able to tell them we can't do this.
If the rumors are true, the heads at 343 were saying yes, without talking to the developers about it. You know what I'm saying?
A backbone to go up to Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, and all them over at Xbox and
That's
say,
the truth.
This can't be done.
That's
and guess what? That falls on them just like it falls on Microsoft. But Microsoft, like Slow-Mo Backslash says it the best, man. You can't let these studios run unimpeded. It's like,
that's right.
I understand that they were putting so much time in all the acquisitions and all the other developers that they picked up over the course of the last 2 years. But for some reason, they just thought that 343 was able to manage themselves. And guess what? They should be able to, because they're literally their oldest. Well, they done worked on Halo almost just as long as Bungie worked on Halo.
There's a lot wrong with the situation here. It's everything from the lack of crunch, the lack of and I know no one likes when you hear I have a micromanager over me. People don't like that. But when you have something as massive as the tree that unfolds underneath Phil, you have to micromanage. You have to. He's got to be on top of Matt Booty. Matt Booty's got to be on top of all these new acquired studio leads. And you can clearly see, like you said, Forte, I completely agree with you, that there was nobody communicating from the working level up to upper management in 343 to upper management at Xbox to say, we have a problem here. It took actually us, and I don't mean us like me. I'm talking about it took the gaming community to point this out to higher executives at Xbox. And I think that is an actual issue. It's a big deal, you know.
Actually, Mooch, can I jump in there real quick?
Go ahead.
Can I jump in there real quick on that? Because, we can put it on 343, we can put it on Microsoft, but I'm gonna throw it back on the community too, because not all of the community was stepping up to say no, this ain't right, because the day they revealed that game, I remember. I'm fired up with Forte on this because I love him. Like, the disrespect that you would put that out and show that to us says a lot, because for the longest, most games that they put out, what does the community do? The ones that they listen to the most, they say, well, it's fine.
God, look at the AR.
Look how it looks. It's fine. They take it, right, Erica? They take it. They say, as long as I'm having fun and every game comes out broken and blah, 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 blah. So why wouldn't they try you like that?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get a free gaming chair, Eric. You know what I mean?
Lord.
But the day it was revealed, I remember people saying, well, you're not a real fan if you saw that and you weren't okay with it. No, I'm not okay with it. And I guess I'm not a real fan. Okay. I am a fan. And the fact is, I saw people saying, it looks fine to me, is the gunplay, they got time. I'm like, yo, this game comes out in a few months. Right. If that to you look fine, something's wrong.
Yeah, like when I was watching it, I was looking at like, okay, where's the improvements at, right? I'm seeing Halo, I'm seeing the Warthog, but I'm not seeing any like, tire tracks in the ground. I'm seeing him go through a little grass field, but the grass is not interacting. Mm-hmm. A ship is going by him, but the sound effects is not really there. That's what I was.
Chief looked on point. They made sure they. But what
the guns sound good and it looked like it's gonna feel good.
The new weapon types look dope. I was like, I was down with all that, but I'm like, no, but this doesn't look like a game that's supposed to be launched in a few months on your most powerful console and PC.
But you know what? And because we were talking about how Joseph is going to impact this. Let's be for real. It ain't coming out in 2021.
Thank you.
It ain't coming. I don't believe.
You think so? Nah, there's
no way.
No way. It got to come out 2021.
No. Listen. No. This game, trust me, I hate to say it. Once you made this move and once you canceled it, it's not just any run-of-the-mill game.
Right.
They can't afford. Like, everybody's going to be looking at this game with, like,
even more than they were before.
Yeah. Not only that, but how much longer are these developers working from home? You got to think about that too. It could go into next year that this is happening. And
the only way I see beyond 2021 if they completely U-haul the story.
No, and that's what they have to do.
So we don't know exactly. We don't know the story. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the only way.
I think at a certain look for me, like, and this is just me. I'm not talking about you guys. I just feel I know in my heart what I want them to do, and what they are going to do is two different things. I don't want a current gen version of the game. They're going to give that to us because they got Game Pass to worry about. They got cloud service with xCloud because as of right now, all the blades that are in the in xCloud are all Xbox One S's, and that stuff's not going to get upgraded to exit to the new systems until like another 2 to 3 years. They already said that. So if they want that game to be a big part of their service, they're going to have to bring it out on the current gen platforms. So I'm good with that. I understand that's going to be a thing that happens. I hate it, but it's going to do. But the biggest thing is when you bring something like this in, when you bring these people in to basically rebuild the story. Think about it. Destiny got a delay when Jason Staten when he left Bungie. That game was supposed to come out in 2012.
Yeah.
It got a full calendar delay because they had to rebuild the story again when he left the project.
That's right.
Because he didn't like the direction of the game. So you telling me a studio that's in even more disarray than Bungie was at that time, he's going to come in and fix it in a year?
This game
not going to happen.
No, this game is mid 2022 or it'll be holiday 2022 is how I'm looking at it because
that's rough. I don't think Microsoft can afford.
Erica,
can they afford for it? I was just about to say that's a long way away.
But Erica, here's the thing, and I that is a valid question. But the thing about it is what Forte said. And we always had all eyes on Halo Infinite, right? Because we knew this was going to be the only thing the Xbox Series X was going to have first party coming out the gate. It was their big thing. Now, because of the attention that it's gotten, and Joseph Staten coming in, people maybe losing jobs, but getting shifted to different positions that were higher up. Now everybody is staring at this, and if Joseph Staten's coming in and he's the pedigree that we all know he is, he's going to take something that's I'm using, when I say broken, I'm not saying the game itself. I just mean maybe the story, the look, the feel. It's not working right now. He's going to come in there with his own idea. If he comes in and just puts a Band-Aid on it, I don't think that's enough. I mean, Eric, what do you think? I mean, is that
I think that the story will remain the same, and the reason why they are bringing him in is they want to update the Halo 1 look.
Okay.
All right. I think that's because the main thing that people were talking about was the aesthetics of the game. So I don't think that the story is going to get touched at all because we're looking at a 10-year game that, of course, is starting. It's starting with this one general, right? We're probably not. We're not going to face off against Atriox at this juncture because they're going to add content as the years go on and stuff like that. So we're not fighting Atriox in the final battle or anything like that, right? Mm-hmm. I think they're going to keep the story the same, and they want to upgrade the quote unquote Halo 1 look of the game because the biggest complaint was like the enemies. Their textures, what the armor looked like, those complaints. So, and that's what they're going to.
Why are they going for the Halo 1 look though? I don't understand
because if you are a part of the Halo community, and I prayed to God this would never happen. But there's an old school Halo community out there that every time when Halo 4 came out, they started complaining about that game in terms of the look. Oh, the Forerunner stuff is too busy. What are you doing? Making Master Chief. He his armor looks too complicated. This isn't Halo, and that's they constantly are out there in forums.
Maybe they listen. Maybe they listen too much.
They talk to that community.
Let me do
They
this.
said they talked to that community.
The old school community.
The old school.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
and
lie, I
that
didn't
was
have a
one thing.
problem with
That was one thing
Neither
I
did
wish
I,
they would
Forte.
never
I didn't have
do,
a problem.
man.
I didn't have a problem either.
I didn't
I
either.
love the style.
I
When I
wanna-
saw it. Go ahead.
No, I want to bring up an example to you guys because you guys are saying that this game might get delayed to 2022, right?
Yes.
But we had another big AAA game this generation, right, that had development issues where the writers leaving and directors kind of changed over with Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 was scheduled to come out in 2015. Story has changed. It came out 2016. That's a year later. I don't think.
Well, hold on though. There's a lot more. I think
multiplayer.
There's a whole lot of moving parts with Halo.
There's a whole multiplayer that's going
Yeah.
to be free to play in this game.
Yeah.
And it's got to be able to scale across multiple platforms.
And with
I
the
think
delay,
that's the biggest thing that people not realizing is that's where a lot of this is coming from.
Yes.
The fact that people think that this game, people are capping because the game doesn't look good, and they keep arguing about the wrong point. It's not because old systems are holding it back. It's the fact that the developer that's on this product isn't up to snuff to doing it. That's the problem with this right now. 343 is not the company that should be running your $5 billion franchise. And that's just the unfortunate side of it. But guess what? This is going to be how it is. They're going to get I was listening to Jazz yesterday, Grind Your Gears. I don't agree with half the stuff he says, but I agree with this one thing. He said 343, he said Crackdown 3 basically fell on the sword because of tech. They wanted to promote the Azure cloud and the destruction that you could do in the cloud. 4 Xbox Ones in the sky, and that's what you're able to do with Crackdown 3. So it fell on the tech. Now we're looking at Halo as being having an opportunity of them saying cross-generation platform, showing you how scaling works and everything. And as of right now, Halo is a victim of the technology that Microsoft wanted to put on 343 instead of letting 343 just make the game they wanted to make when it comes to Halo. That's the problem.
And there. Forte, you've been saying that for many weeks, and I got to be honest with you, it's come to fruition even more and more relevant today. Let me do a couple of these super chats here while they're relevant to the conversations we're having, and then I do want to get to some other subjects. TrueWiddy says the $1 million question is with Game Pass. Is Microsoft willing to put out a broken game because it is in Game Pass and can be patched later? That's what we've been saying, TrueWiddy. I think Crap's been onto that trail for a long time. Sir X-Man says Crap.
Well, they delayed it for a year, so I guess we know the answer to that one.
Well, that's thanks to the community. Sir X-Man says Crap, third-party games come out unfinished also. Not as much as we used to see earlier this generation, but again, Sir
that's
X-Man
why I
makes
mentioned
a point.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Right.
That's why I had mentioned that to begin with.
No, it holds water.
That was obviously something. But again, Microsoft, it's important that they don't do that because I don't think they want their own Game Pass to be looked at as less than something. You know what I mean? Like people already kind of look at it as this place where they show, we'll fix it later or whatever. And I get that there's a couple of games that they want, like the mid-level games that went in there recently or whatever. And I think that's fine. And man, you got a shit ton of
I gotta pay some bills here.
And I think that's cool, but it's like nobody's dropping what they're doing to get an Xbox or play in the Xbox ecosystem to play Wasteland 3. You know what I mean? Or Tell Me Why. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those aren't really, they could be good games, but those aren't games that people are like, damn, I got to play on that Xbox ecosystem. You know, like I'm just being honest. Like people are, I think, really looking for those big, boisterous AAA blockbuster games.
Well, yeah, Crap. Like I don't think Monday or Tuesday is going to come around the corner and we're going to see the 3-day tally for Wasteland 3 to be 5 million downloads, right? Probably not.
I mean, exactly, and that's even on PS4.
And that's right. That is true. It is a multi-plat still currently. Shout out to Jeff Lewis for the amazing super chat. He says, "Great show, fellas. I appreciate that, Jeff. Thank you." I guess quite a few here. The conversation was just so great. I didn't want to interrupt the panel. Mr. Miracle says, "It's not like Xbox can go further into last place. They should just get out of the way of the PS5 and Switch this winter, launch in March 2021. Listen, I'll tell you something right now. So I don't think because of mindshare that they can actually do that, Mr. Miracle. But I'll tell you, if they do have the intent, like Jay Barry was saying, and Joseph Staten's going in to quickly make a fix, weeks, get things in order, kind of put a boot in certain people's asses and get things rolling, maybe delaying it and having a massive launch altogether, because Xbox has said a number of times, we don't care if you buy the console. So there is something to that. Purple Cage with great emoji. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
I get that they don't care if people buy their console.
Yeah.
But don't they have to realize also, but that's predicated on them having content that people want across other devices as well. So you still got to have content there that's going to drive, like nobody's going to get Netflix without Stranger Things. I mean, how many people canceled HBO once Game of Thrones was done? Okay, if you don't have the content, it doesn't really matter. Realistically, so you could say, hey, I don't care if you buy my console all day, but the bottom line is nobody's going to access your stuff on any device if you don't have great content to begin with.
Well, Erica, let me ask you a question, because I'm dying to know. We've talked about this thoroughly, even with Jay on Twitter. I haven't asked you, where are you right now with the information you have currently? And I'm not even talking about the opinions on the panel tonight. Just with what you know right now, are you in the market for a Series X this fall?
No, I'm not. I have been on PC like the past year, just gaming on PC. I play Gears on it. I play Ori on it. Ori 2 I played on it. Both are Oris. And it just, I mean, I don't know if you want to get into that whole conversation. I think that is a topic possibly. But yeah, I just don't need one. I mean, because the services are everywhere. I could just get Game Pass. I can play the games on my PC. And like Crap saying, there's not that content that's going to make me, it's not exclusive content anyways, that's going to force me to have to buy this console. And it's like, no.
Let me ask you this then, a two-part question for you, Eric. I'm kind of throwing another one at you here unexpectedly.
Go for it.
So you're a PC gamer. I recently bought into the PC world, as you know, as well. But there's a lot of people that are not PC gamers, and I'll just pick on Xbox.
I too live dangerously.
I too love to live dangerously. I fold. All right, so wait, real quick though. Like Xbox has a PC in his house, but it's Mel's. So he says it all the time. He's like, I don't really particularly care for that. So folks like Xbox or other folks that don't have a PC at all, where's their incentive and excitement to go pick up a Series X this fall? If like I said, they're not PC gamers. So the fact that Xbox has put their games everywhere, but they don't have access to the everywhere in air quotes, what's their incentive to go buy a Series X? Like if you weren't a PC gamer, would you then still get it because you're like, well, I don't have a PC. I guess I have to get it, or you don't?
Yeah, I mean, I was once living dangerously as well. I used to just do console. I was a total console gamer. Console master race, that was like my joke.
There you go.
And because I was big into Gears, I had to get an Xbox, and I did. I got the 360, I got the Xbox One because I was a console gamer. That's right. So yeah, there are going to be plenty of those out there, plenty of Xbots out there that are going to just want to be on console. And I think, and because of that, they're going to sell these consoles, maybe not as close to a PS5, but those gamers are still out there. Not everyone's going to go build a PC. That's just not going to happen. So, I mean, I've always said this. I mean, recently I've been saying this, that Xbox, in a way, is kind of ahead of the curve in the way of like they're future-proof, that their games are kind of everywhere. And PC, I think, is the future. I think more exclusives are going to go there, even on the Sony side. Bari, I think it's going to happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, we're already seeing it. So I feel like Xbox, they're just kind of covering their bases, and they're kind of just worrying about getting these services everywhere. I mean, that's what Xbox is now. But if you're a console gamer, and if that's what's important to you and that's what you want to game on,
you're going to get a console.
You're going to get a console. Yeah, you're going to get the Series X.
There's a lot of people that are, let's just say, console master race, right? There's a lot of, and don't get me wrong, that there's nothing wrong with that at all. But see, the way Sony's attacking it, because Erica, what you said, I do agree, and we're seeing it, right, with Horizon Zero Dawn. We saw it with Death Stranding. But they're doing it with a different form of attack. Once you already put the game exclusively on the console for 1, 2, or 3 years, respectively, it depends on the game we're talking about, and then you put it on PC, it's different. Sony's double dipping. What they're doing is they're getting you to buy a PS4. They got you to buy the title. They may have even got you to buy the title again digitally for convenience factor, and then they're going to go ahead and charge the PC crowd, right? Where Microsoft, and me and Crap said this 2 years ago, when the whole we're going to put our first party games day and date in there, I said they kind of shot themselves in the foot. I don't necessarily look at it as future proof in a sense, because there's certain people that feel lost. Like, if you don't have a PC and you are just a console gamer, like right now, where's the excitement to buy a Series X? That's where they kind of, like, now that things are everywhere, a lot of people aren't buying a Series X because they can play it on their phone or they can play it on a PC. Why not do it? Go ahead, and Forte, you can have the mic in a second. I don't understand why Microsoft didn't do this, right? And I know this is easy to say Monday morning quarterback, but I said it the second that they launched this idea, that they could have very easily taken their games, their first-party games, and put them on PC 6 months later and put them into Game Pass 3 to 6 months after. It gives a purpose, a reason. And for people to say, well, that's just ridiculous, Mooch, you don't need to do that. That's not the era we're in. Well, just quickly look over to Sony. It's working. Nintendo, it's working. So I don't understand why Microsoft felt the need to rush to put everything day and date and give everybody everything for $1. You know what I mean? Like, it just it cheapened it.
Can I just say something real quick? I do agree with you that they did shoot themselves in the foot. Like, PlayStation's, they have the right method right now. They're doing everything right. All they got to do is put their games on console like they've been doing. A couple of years later, put them on PC. Like you said, they're double dipping. And Xbox rushed to do it. So they shot themselves in the foot when it comes to their box, the console. But as far as these services, I mean, if they can keep afloat, if they can keep these services going, obviously they're going to make their money. And I just think that's where Microsoft is going because they couldn't win in the console department. They're not winning.
That's
they're
the right
losing.
answer. That is the right answer.
That's what they got to do. That's why they shifted. But go ahead, Forte.
No, and you kind of just basically just hit it out the park right there. The biggest thing for me when it comes to what Microsoft is doing is this is something they had to do. And they realized that midway through the generation because people wasn't buying their games like at the level that they would be buying on PlayStation. But one thing I always disagree when it comes to the PC side of it and people double dipping. Let me ask you, Mooch, if you had a console and you sold it to somebody on PC now, and I watch a lot of PC gamers and stuff, and a lot of them do have some of these systems and stuff, but the only time they turn them on is when an exclusive game comes out.
That's right.
I'd rather a PC person not buy my $500 system and wait for me to bring that game to PC because all they're doing is taking one system out of the ecosystem from somebody that's going to buy it on a console, and they're going to buy way more games and get more. They're going to give me more money.
I think that's the goodwill. That's a goodwill answer, but realistically, if McDonald's doesn't care if you buy a cheeseburger and throw it in the garbage, they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. But the biggest problem, what I always look at it is like they see each system as a net amount of dollars that they're going to make off of it. Most of the people that are on PC, they don't care about console enough. The only reason they buy it is because the first party games that they want. That's why Sony and Nintendo have such strong brands because they're worth buying just off first party alone. But we all know the majority of the money doesn't come from first party. It comes from the 90% of the games you sell on that platform that are available everywhere else. And they're not getting that cut from those people. So Microsoft is like, that's why they're using the whole you don't have to buy our system approach, because guess what? All of their games that they put on Steam, and guess what? They don't even just put them on their own service over there. They actually sell them on Steam too. So they're like, we're double dipping there. We're also giving people the option to buy through Xbox Game Pass where they only got to pay a subscription service. And they're basically giving people like, pay with your wallet. How do you want to get into our ecosystem? You can buy it outright over here. The thing about it, service over there.
No, Forte, you make a good point, but I think what happens at the end of the day is, when you drive by a McDonald's, you ever see those ones where it's like 100 million served, right? Listen, so when you're talking about 150 million, 140 million PS4s out there in the wild, right, or whatever they're at now, 130, who knows? It doesn't matter, right? Those are people that are buying games, buying content, buying movies, buying music, like through their store, and they're getting a percentage off of that. Whereas Microsoft has pretty much put their hands in the air, and I think it's more of what Erica said, and we've said it on the show before, but she kind of brought it to light tonight, is that they had to do this because they were in dead last. The other thing I kind of feel, and it's hard to put this into words, when I say this on a podcast, some people misconstrue it or they don't understand, but there's a saturation here, right? Like when you see Halo Infinite or you see Gears 5 and it's $1, right? It's saturated. When you look at things like, remember Krispy Kremes when that first came around to your local area? They were charging like $5 more a dozen donuts, and their donuts weren't even any better than the place that you've been buying them for the past 20 years. But because it was $5 more, and there's a line out the door, and this need, and this, oh my God, you better get there early because there's a shortage on Sunday, right? But
they're freshly made though, like
FOMO,
right.
Well, but at the end of the day, a donut's still going to hurt you the same way, Xbox. So my point is, right, all I'm saying is this. When all of a sudden you take those Krispy Kreme donuts and all of a sudden you make them like way cheaper and there's no line anymore and it's like I can get it everywhere, the appeal kind of just drops. It's saturated. It's all over the place. That's the feeling I feel a lot of the games are right now that drop into Xbox Game Pass. It just kind of feels like, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. Where when you have other games, okay, and prior games on Xbox too, I'm just using Sony as an example because it's as of recent, but Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us 2, those are games people take days off from work to play. They wait till midnight. They wait till 12:01. They snap that picture and tweet it out. Oh, let's see what this is all about. Tweet. Right? They can't wait. They're living in the moment. But like Ori, people were like, I'll get to it when I get to it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that Krispy Kreme thing. Once they dropped their price and they weren't, they didn't have the line around the corner.
I agree with that because I've been telling
foot dip, Mooch. They foot dip. You know what I mean? You sit in the pool and you just put your foot in the pool, but you're not going in. That's what they do.
No, yeah, I agree 100%.
I call them foot dippers. That's what they are. You know?
Yes.
No, yeah, I
try
agree
out
with
the
that.
game, but they're not really diving fully into the game.
Yeah, and it's that immersion. Let me do a couple of super chats here, and then we're going to move on to our next subject here. But Purple Cage, I want to say thank you again for that. I know it's a emote of a dancing lion or tiger or bear or dog, but I love it. Thank you so much. Marty Bison, the great Marty Bison says, the gunk looking better than Ratchet and Clank, they say. Lies! And he says, what's up, panel, is what I meant. I believe he meant to spell. And then Sir X-Man says, Crackdown 4 will be out before Halo Infinite. Sir X-Man cracking jokes early and often. I appreciate that, Sir X-Man. I know I have a few here.
You better
that
not
I missed.
release no Crackdown 4.
No kidding, right? I know I missed one here, guys. I apologize. Give me 1 second. Von Helsing. I'm going to say that wrong. Halo Infinite development smells a lot like Crackdown 3. I got to be honest with you. There is something to that. It's not feeling too great. Sir X-Man comes back, says they took my pass-through. They took my they did. They took my pass-through away. I'm waiting on SXSX. We're all kind of pissed off about that. Slow-mo backs up, says, almost everything Forte has said tonight, I agree with. Say your prayers, settle your grudges, so find your nearest church. The end is near.
Oh, Lord. No, is it a bloody moon outside today?
I don't know what's going on.
That is true because I never really hear you guys agree on a lot of things.
You guys definitely butt heads a lot, yeah.
Shout out to E. Murray in the chat. He says, Mooch has no facts. He's just stating it. He's just giving his opinion. E. Murray, it's an opinion show. Of course it's just my opinion. It's not written on a tablet anywhere. Listen, I think that we all kind of beat this one to a pulp. I do think that Joseph Staten going back to work on Halo and working with 343 is an absolute godsend to have him back. Let's hope he can do the best that he can in the amount of time that Phil and company are allotting him. Because if they are pushing him to have it by next holiday, he's got a lot of work cut out for him. The next thing I kind of wanted to talk about with you guys, and I'll start with Erica, our special guest, is Sony recently put an email out there, or pardon me, a registrar out there for you to sign up and get on the pre-order list for the PS5s. And recently we also heard that they went from 5 million, correct me if my numbers are wrong, to 10 million in production. They know that they're ramping up their production because they know the demand is high. But people are still saying that even with this pre-order and everybody staying tuned to Amazon and GameStop, and Forte, we're definitely going to be coming to you in this because we definitely want to hear what GameStop's impression is from here. But Erica, what do you think? Do you think Sony's handling this properly or at the best that they can considering the issues going on in the world?
Oh, I haven't thought of it that way. I mean, my first thought was like, oh crap, these things are going to sell out. That was like my first thought. Like, do I really got to sign up with Sony to get a notification just to be able to
That's
pre-order?
weird, right?
I guess I didn't expect that. Yeah, after hearing they're going to ramp up development and everything, I was like, I don't know, but I haven't thought of it in the way of how you're asking, they're handling it right. What do you mean? In what sense?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. So in crap, I think you could chime in here because I'm pretty sure you did a video this morning on it. It was late last night. I caught it. Sony's asked people to register, and it seems like it's like a first come, first serve, or it's a I don't know what the allegiance factor is, but it did. A lot of people were kind of complaining that how they're going about these Sony notifications is, I don't want to use the word improper, but maybe unfair. Crap, you were kind of talking about this. Is it in right? Jay's laughing, right? But I don't know. I'm asking the question.
Mooch, I'm ramping up, Mooch. But go ahead, Crap.
Yeah, the first thing that they're doing is just basically trying to make sure that if you're a hardcore PlayStation fan, that you'll be able to get one if you want one. And you have to enter in like your PSN name and everything like that.
Right.
I think that's really kind of staving off people buying multiple consoles and selling them for more money on other places. So I think that, and I do think that they'll also have a round of these things going to retail as well. I don't think they're going to cut them out. I just think that they're giving the hardcore fans first crack. I think it's very pro PlayStation fans.
How do they deem who's hardcore and who's not, though?
My opinion, but I do think that.
But Crap, how do
they'll eventually open up for everybody, but they want to make sure that the hardcore fans get first crack at it, and I kind of like that, to be honest with you.
But Crap, how do they deem?
Interesting, because I know you do put in your PSN name, so I'm wondering, are they going to go based on like how long you've been with PSN? How many trophies you have?
They said off of activity.
You got to be like a Jay Bar out here and be like die hard. You know what I mean? Like,
you know the vibes. Let's go.
You got to be PlayStation Nation, and like, is that what they say?
So this is what they're saying here. So first of all, the email they sent out is for you to register so you can get an invitation.
Okay.
How they select you is based off of your previous interests with PlayStation and your PlayStation activities. But even if you are invited to pre-order, that doesn't guarantee you an actual console because it's first come, first serve. So each invite is going to have like a time limit as far as when you can pre-order, whatever you want to pre-order. They're limiting you to one PlayStation per PlayStation ID,
per account,
and then and then you can do like 2 controllers, the accessories like 2 each, but it doesn't guarantee you. So if you see this invite, like, oh, I'm good to go, let's go, baby. No, you better hurry up and pre-order when you get in.
You have a time limit then. Okay.
Yeah, you have a time limit. So that's the part that to me, Jay, go ahead, my bad.
No, Jay, my question's to you, Jay. So wait a minute. So does that mean when, let's say you get granted whatever, you apply at the right time, you answer at the right time, do you have to buy it through the PlayStation Store?
Yeah, so this is going through PlayStation.com. So like Crap said, I guess this is like first dibs. Everybody, like a PlayStation, I guess, fan, quote unquote fan, you're getting first crack at the pre-ordering process. And then, eventually it's going to go to, the other retailers and stuff like that. But it's no different than like, I guess, like an iPhone.
Okay.
The different
now myself personally, go ahead, Jay.
The difference is like the iPhone, when you pre-order, you still can pre-order from all the other retailers, I guess, right? But normally everybody go through Apple.com for their iPhone,
Yeah, shout out to Pantherium in the chat, and also, Forte. I'm not saying this just because you run a shop, but I got to be honest with you, man. Like, I myself personally am buying my PS5s, plural. I'm buying them at GameStop. Because here's the thing, buying them at PlayStation, I'm not necessarily sure why you would elect to do that. At GameStop, I'm going to get anywhere from $200 to $250, maybe $175 if Sony's really not ambitious with a trade-in. I'm going to get a trade-in, plus I'm going to get all the points. And let me tell you something, console year launch, Forte will tell you this. I remember it as well from 2013. When you go in there and you're walking out with 2 or 3 consoles, I got news for you. You can almost get like a game or 2 free with the credit. I mean, like there's a lot of credit worth investment of your time and money at either maybe a Best Buy or a GameStop that give you something for your goods. That's why I'm seeing everybody lined up for the PlayStation Store, and I'm like,
the thing is, Mooch,
you're not getting anything back. Go ahead, Crap.
Is that Sony kind of reorganized into a global thing now? Okay. So they'll do a global launch of everything, right? So even though they are creating more, they have more spaces that they have to release these consoles.
That's right.
And there could be issues with shipping as well. So I remember reading that even though they're creating up to 10 million ready to go this year, that maybe only half of that is going to be able to be shipped out. So, and that's between all the different countries and stuff like that. Like, you have to remember, the PS4 launched here in the North America in 2013. It didn't launch in Japan until 2014 and other places as well. So if you're looking at launching this stuff everywhere, you could be supply constrained. I mean, yeah, you might still be able to order stuff at GameStop or whatever, but they might not get the normal amount that they would. So that's probably what they're thinking is, see to make sure to get the hardcore people a chance at getting the console or whatever. To me, this is I see people worrying now, like people like, oh man, I better make sure I get it. You know what I mean? Like that's going to drive sales regardless. So like, people are going to go, oh man, I really like That's how I look at it.
You know what I noticed as well, that through the PlayStation.com, it redirects you to like other retailers. It's not like you're directly ordering from PlayStation.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess it's just like you getting the access to it first before it just goes to the retailer stores. I don't know, but like Crap said, like, first crack at it.
Like you pay for like how you do with Amazon, you pay for it from Amazon, but it's shipped through a fulfillment center somewhere else. So my thoughts. When I first saw this, I laughed because I was like, oh, I kind of know what this means. This means we're going to be supply restraint like hell when it comes to these systems being in stores.
Yes.
Because if they're going to take a chunk of those and do it that way,
exactly, Forte.
That basically means, and this isn't hyperbole because Nintendo did it the same way. What you get an allotment that they give you as a store, like the company gets an allotment, and then that allotment is distributed across the amount of stores they have. And we're talking about a worldwide launch, like Crap said. So we're not talking about just GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, Target. We're talking about pretty much everywhere. I mean, even Amazon.
That's right.
So we're talking about anywhere you can get these systems from. So if I remember correctly, in 2013, when we were taking pre-orders on PlayStation 4, my initial allotment was around 45 to 50. And then they like scaled that up over the course of the year because they started pretty early with the pre-orders. I think by the time I was done pre-ordering PS4s and it came out, I was close to like 220 of them in my store on release. Xboxes was close to like 180, and that was just my store. My store is like middle above average store when it comes to traffic and stuff. There are stores out there with 400 or 500 of them. That's not going to be a thing this time. That's basically telling me that, hey, especially since they're going to start the pre-order initiative late, I think whatever they put out there to pre-order the first time, if a store has 20 to reserve, those 20 are gone. You won't see any more pre-orders until the system is available in the store. Yep. So I'm telling you, I'm not worried about this because I work in the store. I'm gonna make sure I get mine day one, no matter what. But ultimately, the moment these pre-orders go live, I don't care what you have to do. I've been telling all my guests this. I was like, dude, find somebody that can come to the store and pre-order it. Go to whatever website you can do. I said, I don't care where you get it from because it's going to be like this everywhere. Everywhere is going to be like this. Not just one retailer is going to have so many more than another one.
So Forte, are you hearing anything? Because here's my interest. Are you going to limit one per customer? Is that what?
Absolutely.
GameStop's already said that.
Yeah, they already. Yeah, you can only be put on the list for one per system. You can do both systems, like multiples of an Xbox and multiples of PlayStation. But
so wait,
I mean not multiples, but you can't do two PlayStation. Or two Xbox.
So hold on. If the individual comes in and wants one physical edition PS5 and one digital edition, is that two separate purchases?
Those are technically two different systems.
So you can do that.
Yeah, those are two different.
Because I'm looking to get one physical and one digital, one for my office, one for the family room. If that's the case, then I gotta be, again, I want my rewards points.
Because they're going to have an allocation for both of them. They're going to have an allocation for both SKUs. So if they tell us, like,
that's right, Erica. Yes.
Yeah. So if they send an allocation to my store and say you got 36 PlayStation this one and 20 of this one, then I can pre-order those however I want. So the biggest thing is, make sure you're ready. Now, somebody did come out and say that pre-orders will not sneak up on you. They said, we will let you know ahead of time what day the pre-orders are going to go live so you guys can plan your day to make sure you can get to the stores or wherever you're going to pre-order it at. Make sure you'll be able to do it. They should. I think that's the best thing. That's the most they can do for making you wait to the last minute to get these systems.
Forte, is that a game stop thing where you can pre-order or buy both? The physical and digital, because on the FAQ they saying that it's either or, it's one.
So I'm just telling you how GameStop. Well, until these pre-orders come out, no one really truly knows what it's going to be. I'm just going off of the knowledge of knowing that they won't. If you're buying multiple systems, it only usually blocks you if it's the same SKU. Since these are two different SKUs, they're two different products. One is going to cost more than the other one, and if you want to get two of them, unless they actually specifically come out and say no, one PlayStation per customer, which they could do. The thing is, we're all working on bogus information because Sony and Microsoft haven't told us anything about the pre-order process yet. So that's the problem that's going on. So you might be right. It may just be the fact that, and what Sony might only mandate it only be one per household, because they can definitely do that, because they can look at it and say, we're giving you this many systems and we're only mandating that you have one per household no matter what. And if they do that, we have to go off of those guidelines. So it's just a lot of information that you got to sift through to finally get to where the conversation is going to be at.
No, and Forte, that's why I truly appreciate your input on the show, man. You kind of know what's happening and what's the forefront. That's going to be the issues and tribulations that we're going to have to deal with as soon as this. And I think it'll be September. First week of September, I think you're going to be very busy at work, and I think we're all going to have to do our damnedest to get in line, 6 feet apart, of course.
If I had to guess. If I had to guess what retailers would be the ones that will have the most pre-orders,
yes,
that will have Best Buy and GameStop will have the most, because they don't make money off the system. They make 5% off those systems, meaning every one they sell is $25. They want you to go into a store, because if you go to Amazon, you could just click buy and buy the system and that's it. So they're not going to have as many on Amazon as they'll have somewhere like Best Buy or GameStop, where you walk in there. Their job is not to only just sell you the system, sell you a memory card, sell you the external memory, sell you a game, so anything that's going to help that product be more profitable in that transaction, because that's the one thing that Sony always preaches. That's what all those companies preach. How are you doing in attach? How are you doing in making our product more profitable? And those are the two stores I can guarantee you that will have the most pre-orders of everybody.
I'll be honest with y'all, man. This whole pre-order shit is backwards, man. I never seen this in my lifetime. We got a global marketing commercial. We got pre-order emails, but we ain't got a fucking price or date. What is going on here?
Who's yelling? I love it.
Well, Barney, you know why that is, brother, because Sony and Microsoft playing cat with each other.
Yo, I'm getting pissed off, man, because I'm seeing all this shit. I'm sorry, I'm cursing. I'm seeing all this stuff.
All right, man. I'm with you. People coming in.
Barney.
That's right. Think I'm tired of answering questions about people like, hey, man, what you know about the PS4? I was like, bro, at this point, you're going to know before I know.
It's backwards as hell, man.
It's funny because I can remember when they announced Xbox One's pricing at E3, I went and put the 50 down at GameStop or whatever. And then I paid on it up until the release date. So I had that because I had a bunch of games with it too. So I paid on it like almost like a layaway, I guess. And that way I went in there and I had like everything ready to go. And with this, it's like I'm bad with money as it is, but it's like they just I got money.
They sending you everything under the gun except for the price of the release date. Like, okay, you want us to pre-order? Okay, you want us to get ready, but we don't know the actual tangible information.
Me, I get it too, because even though I buy most stuff digital, I plan on buying Spider-Man physically at the GameStop too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
whatever
why not?
Else.
Crap, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm not really game sharing on PlayStation right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I like having that stuff. So like, especially with I buy a lot of my VR games from PlayStation physically as well, just because I like doing that. But like what in the hell? Like Microsoft still has technically a console to announce, and that's supposed to release this year too. And it's just like, to me, I there's so many questions, and we don't really know. And also we don't really know the full launch lineups. I guess that's a little bit odd to me. Like we got a little bit of confirmation. Hey, Ratchet and Clank is going to be a launch window game, so probably early next year, which that game looks phenomenal.
It does.
Like I would have never thought that a Ratchet and Clank game would be like the most next gen looking thing I've seen, but it's hands down the most next gen looking thing I've seen. It looked incredible. Absolutely. And I love the first one. That was when I was an Xbot as well, and I still gave that a hell of a review. I think I gave it a 9 or something. It was great. I loved it.
As you should.
So it was such a good game, and this new one looks absolutely incredible as well. So I can't wait to get that, and I hope they get some of these launch dates kind of figured out or whatever. I kind of feel a little bit sorry for Xbox because I was told, and I know that we've been podcasting for years, Mooch.
Yeah.
I know that you know that we were told multiple times by people that Microsoft gave up and that they were getting everything ready in line to go all out next generation.
Yep.
And they're starting next generation the most piss poor way that you can.
Yeah.
Like I just don't
It's
understand
actually, and it's hard to fathom this, guys. So kind of buckle up before I say it. It's actually a worse launch lineup and a worse launch as we stand today. Things can change. Than 2013. It really is because
I said that on Twitter,
right?
I said that on Twitter, right? Because listen, people were making fun of Xbox back in 2013, but hell, I was excited. I was going to play Titanfall, Dead Rising 3, Forza Motorsport, Killer Instinct, Rise. I was going to play games. Sunset Overdrive. They had announced Quantum Break. They announced all that stuff within the May reveal and then that E3 in 2013. So they announced all that stuff. Well, Fable, but we never got that. But they announced all this stuff, all these games.
Quantum Break.
Yeah, exactly. I was excited for all that stuff. With this, it's like you got a new console and there's literally there's not a single game. And I also feel that there's such a small difference between the multiplats that might be a reason why they're not showing multiplats running on it, to be honest with you. It could be something else. I don't know. But if you think about it, it was pointed out that the difference between Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 is the smallest difference between Microsoft console and PlayStation console at launch ever. So, I mean, it's such a small difference. Like, I think people are really making a big deal out of like the 12 T-flops and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, like, why is it that Call of Duty multi-plat cross-gen game looked better than anything we've seen on a Series X? Like, to me.
Oh crap! Let's go ahead. You just did a great segue.
That thing look beautiful.
Crap! Let me ask you: the Call of Duty, like Cold War. I mean, it looked amazing, and that was all shown on a PlayStation. Captain Stu Nuts. Well, that's one of the things I was saying. The single-player campaign ain't going away, folks. Captain Stu Nuts is here to stay. Crap. Let's be honest for a second, though. That game looked outstanding. Might be the first piece of eye candy I've seen for next generation that really made me sit back.
This is what I'll say. Like, when it comes to Call of Duty, like Black Ops, the first one, was my favorite of those. Like, I know a lot of people love Black Ops 2, but I didn't like the Future Jump or whatever. I like that Vietnam era, like that kind of, what I mean? Like the Rolling Stones music and that whole thing. And the fact that they're going back to that, it gets me super excited. Like, I thought it looked fantastic, and what they're doing with it. And PlayStation has marketing rights, and it's like, this might be the first Call of Duty that I get on PlayStation. I'm buying Avengers on PlayStation.
Captured on PlayStation 5. Crap.
Exactly. Captured on PlayStation 5. We have yet to see anything captured on Series X. So that's a little bit worrisome. I don't know what the deal is, but I do see people calling it out now, at least. But it's like, what is the deal? What is the deal? Like, why is there been no footage?
Excuse me. Don't you think that's kind of interesting? Because we haven't seen anything running on it, but at the same time, it was like, the power, right? And then about a month ago, I think it was like Matt Booty, they came out and said, well, we're not really directing like our studios to like on the power thing. And I don't remember the exact quote, but it's like they kind of walked back on that a little bit.
Yeah.
If you guys remember that. It's like,
they
all of a sudden, they weren't like hammering the power and this and that. And just like right before, and I don't want to go back to the Halo thing necessarily, but it seemed like right before they were ready to reveal Halo, Phil jumps out with the whole, we don't believe in generational exclusives. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
It's like, wait.
He also said after he
why
also
are you
said
walking these things back?
It was weird too, because right after, and it's funny how things played out, and I'm still scratching my head on this. He came out and said they feel really good after seeing Sony's June showing, and I'm sitting there going, "What?" I mean, if I was an executive and I knew that my 343, all my eggs in one basket was in turmoil, I wouldn't have necessarily made that comment. That just tells me how out of the loop Phil is from his top executives that are running his studios.
And it wasn't even that, Mooch. It was like right after the whole announcement of Halo being delayed, Aaron jumped out reminding everybody that you have generations of games to play at launch and all this other stuff.
Great
backlog.
And I'm like, dude, why? What? I'm like, why is that a big announcement?
Don't forget, you can play Left 4 Dead 2, Erica. You can play Left 4 Dead 2 day one on your Xbox Series X.
I cannot wait.
God.
I can't wait.
Get that HDR though.
I saw J-Dub, though. He tweeted out. He's like, which old game are you guys going to boot up first on Xbox Series X? I was like, oh, my gosh. You know what I mean? Like, Rise, Son of Rome, you going to play some Recore? No, man, come on. Like, I saw somebody just mention that E. Murray. He's like, he listed some games.
Yeah, I just saw those.
Okay, here it is. Scorn, The Ascent, Medium, Bright Infinite Memory. Well, I don't know if all those are technically launch games, but I'm pretty sure that none of them are getting a physical
maybe
release.
it's a launch window, crap.
No,
Maybe it's a window.
The launch games that Xbox have listed is Scorn, Medium, Yakuza Like a Dragon, Tetris Effect Connected. I think Ascent is going to be one. I'm not sure, but I didn't see that on the actual
but
site.
are any of these games like and I know like people will damage control and go, well, everybody buys digital anyway. But I think still having something physical at store, like where you're looking and you can go, okay, well, Xbox has this, PlayStation doesn't. PlayStation has this, Xbox doesn't. Like those games aren't going to have physical releases at the store to go look. You know, you're going to see, Call of Duty and you're going to see Assassin's Creed, and then you're going to see those on PlayStation. But you're also going to see Spider-Man on PlayStation.
I will disagree with you on that point because we have all said on this panel, day one, who buys the console? The hardcore gamer, all right? And at that point in time, the hardcore gamer knows what games are going on. And if you look at digital sales and whatnot,
I'm a hardcore gamer, but I can tell you right now,
hardcore gamers still buy physical games, though.
They do, and I can tell you right now, they're like
it's not going to have the impact.
Spider-Man.
We can't underestimate the casual either. We can't underestimate.
No, you definitely can't, Bar.
Listen, Spider-Man is a huge name. We can't deny that, right? So people are going to see a Spider-Man game, and they're like, hell yeah, I'm going to get that or whatever. When you look at the Xbox side, I'm having like, what is the? And I asked Mooch this the other day. I was like, are they
going to buy the Spider-Man game but a discless PS5?
No, I don't know.
No. That could be an issue, man.
It could be an issue. You have to wonder about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for me personally, it's going to be a disc because I still have I think I have close to 100 physical.
Wait, what is it? What's the dilemma that Xbox brought up?
He said that people might be confused by a discless PS4 or PS5. Excuse me.
Well, then
do you mean my main point or my little joke at the end there, man?
Well, even if let's use the joke as an example. You don't think that this is confusing? There's going to be a discless Xbox Series S next to an Xbox Series X, which just sold right after we discontinued the Xbox One X.
At least they're going to look completely different.
Give me that Xbox X. Okay.
Okay.
That Xbox S or whatever it is. My kid's been asking for it. Okay.
I got to ask a question, Erica, because I asked you when we did the segment on Xbox. I'm going to ask you before we completely go into games and Gamescom in a second. So now, like you said, Sony's doing the same thing differently, though. They're not doing it day and date. They're doing it a year, 2 years, 3 years after where they're putting their games on PC. You play PC games. Are you buying a PS5 at launch?
It depends on Demon Souls. I'm a Soulsborne head, so if Demon Souls is launch window, then yeah, I'm probably going to get mine. Now, my husband, technically we're going to have one because my husband's getting one, but it won't be my own.
Shout out to Kenny, man.
Shout out to Kenny. Yeah, he's a PlayStation guy, and he wants to date
as he should be.
Jay Barry's great.
So his stuff is my stuff. So it's like I'm gonna have one. But if it wasn't for him, it really depends on that game.
Okay.
And if not, I would wait. I waited on PS4 because I had my
Erica, I got good news for you though. Erica.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's in that launch window.
It is.
I'm assuming, because the rumor, not rumor, but it said it was rated, right? That was like the news going around that the game's been rated, so that's a sign that it's going to come out.
A lot of people missed this interview with Eric Limpel where he quoted that the first party games. Well, he quoted saying that the games that was shown at that showcase are launched to launch window games. That's going to be launching within the first year.
See, I need that. I mean, I'm going to get it eventually,
but
right?
One of those games was slotted at 2022, though. That's weird.
Game?
No, we talking about the Paragon. The what's the going?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I have proof that not all those games are like that, and until they come out and actually give a date and stuff, we can't really just tell Erica, it's going to be in launch window.
Here's the thing.
But
Xbox.
I know
that's fair to say, Xbox. I hear what you're saying, but there are a lot of signs that point to when The Last of Us 2 came and it was rated in, I believe it was South Korea. It then released in a short window after. Same thing with Days Gone, and then same thing I think God of War. So
according to that one guy, Mr. Khan from Kind of Funny, who has a lot of connections and stuff, he said the goal was always to have that game at launch or launch window. So I would assume that Blue Point apparently has been teasing this game for years. They did great job with Shadow of the Colossus, by the way.
Amazing job.
Yeah, I'm not a Souls fan, but I mean it looks nice, and you'll have a 60 frame option. So I think that'll be.
Yeah, 60 frame option. Shouldn't it be 4K 60? Isn't that
what
we talked about?
Isn't it up to
leading
developers?
up to this?
It's the developer's choice, right? That's what everyone tells me about.
That's all we're told. That's right.
Okay, because that's the same options that we pretty much get now. It's either 4K or 60 frames per second. And these consoles
we're not getting the ray tracing. We're not getting
I mean, we are getting bells and whistles.
It'll get patched.
If you look at no, Sony's launching them with included. You don't have to wait. I mean, if you look at Ratchet and Clank,
good one, Erica. I like that.
Like a lot of people, a lot of people are going, oh well, you're getting this or this. Like to me, 1440p, 60 frames with ray tracing, all the bells and whistles is fine.
Yeah.
I'm more than good with that as a next generation thing because I think like Ratchet and Clank looked absolutely incredible. I would play that. That's going to have the interlacing. That's what they said. I guess it's going to be. And here's the thing. That's exactly what they did with the other Ratchet and Clank, which looks great. And Digital Foundry was already on record as saying it looks. You can't really tell the difference between what they did at native 4K. So I'm cool with that. And then also they did that with Spider-Man, which is hands down one of the best looking games I've ever played. And they did the same thing. So I'm really confident. Look, Insomniac Games, I brought this up. Well worth the $200 and some million Sony paid for him, because what's that get? It gets them, they got Spider-Man out in 2018 sells and is the biggest seller on PlayStation this gen. It gets them Miles Morales as a launch game and Ratchet and Clank early 2021. Like, how can you beat that? Like, when you look at it and I bring up, where's the games? People tell me they take time. You got it, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, Insomniac's managed to do all this, and GT Sport came out in 2017, and now they're about ready with the whole Gran Turismo 7, and Forza Motorsport came out in 2017 as well, but they're only in early production. Yeah. Like, there's a huge difference lately between. Yeah, I don't understand it.
With Spider-Man Miles Morales at its core, it was built with the PS4 game, so that cut development time like crazy.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
Well,
that is absolutely true.
Well,
it is definitely not true. Were you saying built?
I'm sorry. Do you know what 4D scanning is and all that good stuff that they talked about, or were you just like gonna throw that out there? Because at its core, it used the assets from Spider-Man PS4 in terms of the city and everything like that. Yeah, it's upgraded, but you already have the assets there, and then you put in with a more powerful console, you put in the ray tracing and stuff, but at its foundation, it's still a PS4 game.
Xbox made a good point on this, but let me say this much though, Xbox. Microsoft's campaign, especially now, has been that you have 4,000 old games to play, right? That's their pitch for you to buy an Xbox Series X. Everything with them is their old games are ramped up. That's most of their advertising is showing us playing Left 4 Dead 2 at 120 frames per second. So the fact that they actually took Spider-Man,
dude,
which was
I hate Left 4 Dead,
right? So the fact that they took Spider-Man, if they're using some of the assets or not, it's going to look like a brand new game for the most part when you pop this thing on your PS5.
No, I know.
No, Xbox.
But
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just saying
out there about that game.
That's fine. But at the end of the day, when you go home, it is going. If you like Spider-Man, you're going to love Miles Morales.
This is why I don't get I don't forget that point, to be honest with you, because The Last of Us Part 2 is using The Last of Us Part 1 assets.
There's some there.
Can The Last of Us Part 2 be on the PS3? You know what I mean?
They used all the predictive animation and stuff like that that they put into that game, which is animation. You go frame by frame in development process.
That's a good question, though, Jay.
That takes a long time to do.
Gears 5 was using assets of Gears 4. I mean, they've always done it that way. They probably even used some assets from 3. Halo
5 and Gears 4 were on the same platform.
Halo, but it's still using the same assets.
There's definitely like similar animations and stuff like that just crosses over.
I think Insomniac, I think they were genius for doing this, but I'm not gonna downplay exactly what they did to get this game out. You see what I'm saying? I think they were genius because it cuts down development time, and when it comes to a new console, they got the Spider-Man name there. at the end of the day, I'm not going to say, this game is or it was developed in a way that it's not.
I haven't really seen it, so you don't know.
But why do we hit them with that, but we don't hit Ubisoft for like Assassin's Creed?
What about isms? I know about those, but I'm only talking about Spider-Man, sir. Sorry.
But I'm just, but it seemed like Spider-Man is like the
DLC.
Yeah. You could what about isms things in full circles all day long and not go anywhere, man.
Well, that's because people don't care about third party stuff like that as much as they care about the first party. Soon as first party does something, everybody want to cap for the other first party. If all these companies were third party, nobody would care about any of this stuff. But the fact that one first party has something that the other one doesn't, the capping is going to happen. So that's what that is. And the one thing that Crap talked about, I agree with him when it comes to like how Microsoft can have all these games and they're like so far still out in summer pre-production. The only one I don't agree with is Forza because of Turn 10, because they actually let people know back in 2018 that game was going to be, they were going to support 7 over the course of the next couple of years. Even when they released Forza Horizon 4, they even put out their thing saying we're still supporting Forza 7.
The reason why they had to support it was because it launched with lack of content. Like there was a lot of stuff missing.
But that's why it didn't surprise me when they said Forza 8 or just Forza Motorsport was in pre-production, because they were still supporting their last game. Doesn't say it was right, but I can understand why that one is. But
I mean, they're a pretty large team. Why not have some people?
I don't understand that.
Exactly. Like why is it taking so long for some of these studios? And I even mentioned saying this when they first bought them. I'm like, okay, well, In Exile is making Bard's Tale 4,
a bunch of different games and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm like, they're gonna it's gonna take a while for them to release anything.
Yeah.
So and it's actually come to fruition, which was the big difference, because Microsoft, who is known for buying like third-party exclusives, is suddenly not doing that. I don't get that at all.
This is the thing. If they're not putting it in Game Pass, they don't consider it an exclusive. That's their thought process at this point. That's why I keep telling people, like, they're not going to go out and buy a game because technically they don't care about you buying the system. They care about the service. They care about the only thing they care about. The only thing they care about more than the service is Halo, and they're probably neck and neck with each other. Honestly,
I don't even know.
But
I'll never believe that where somebody says that they don't care about selling the hardware. You still don't have a price or a release date. They care because they waiting for something.
That's right.
They care because console gamers are part of that group of gamers they want.
Agree.
No, but there's a difference. But there's also a difference in, I think, Microsoft. I think there's a little bit more hidden agenda for Microsoft when it comes to this price, because they know what happened to them a long time ago, and I think that still sticks with them. I literally believe they are going to at least come in at the same price as Sony, if not undercut them. I think they really truly want to do that because of what happened to them back then, because that's the one thing Microsoft as a company is cutthroat as heck. They don't care about they'll throw their money around and do whatever they want to do. Right. The problem is they don't know what Sony's going to do, and Sony's the bigger threat. Now, even though they may not see them as a competitor in the marketplace of like the cloud services like they want to be in, I still think they look at them as, these dudes did us bold in 2013, and they ain't about to let that price out until Sony lets their price out. People keep saying Microsoft's going to crack.
Dude, I think Sony should go first. I think Sony should go first. They've gone second for like years, absolute years.
I think it doesn't even matter.
No. Trust me. Barry, I said this like 3 weeks ago. I was like, bro, Microsoft come out at $500, Sony come out at $600, and Sony still outsell them. Funny.
Oh yeah, right. Absolutely.
I think with this pre-order thing, another thought I had too with the PS5 is like, they're just like gauging right now, like the interest and the demand. They're gonna drop that $600 on us. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh God, I hope
$600.
That is like a big red flag. Like, they already tried that back with the PS3, and it was just
right. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I just feel like it's gonna be more expensive than we think, and that's why they're both waiting right now. They're trying to see who's gonna crack first, and I don't know when it's gonna happen. But you're thinking what, early September, Mooch? You said
I would think it would
be happening.
I mean, let's be honest. We're talking mid-November, right? Even if it's end November for these launches. So I mean, 2 months. Up. It has to be. They can't wait till Halloween, So I mean,
it has to.
$600 too.
It's the day before Black Friday. Here's the price.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Really makes you miss E3, man. I'm just saying, it really makes you miss E3.
Hey, this
Cold War is ridiculous.
I'm telling you, man, you might get that cell phone treatment.
And I miss
that
E3
could be
as well. And I miss E3 as well, but also we have to keep in mind this is not what they planned before the pandemic. We would have got a lot more of these events, and Sony would have been out there letting people play the games, and you know what I'm saying? Like, who knows what would happen? But we can't really, and I get it because I do miss E3 as well. But we didn't get nearly the amount of events that we would have gotten without pandemic going on, where it would have been high production qualities and developers actually been able to showcase what they're doing, and stuff like that. So I do feel like, while I miss E3. I also think that we could have got a lot better information had that not been going on as well, and so it's really kind of difficult to say. But
it feels disjointed.
It does.
Yes, it does.
It's exhausting, man. The way this has been.
It is. It's no. He said the right words. It's exhausting. This cat and mouse thing of back and forth and waiting. They're kind of, to be honest with you, I think I'm starting to hear a lot of the consumers, which we are, gaming community consumers. They're getting annoyed. I mean, we're getting really annoyed.
Talking
it is
about
annoying.
Price, man, price rumors and stuff like
That's
that.
why I think E actually made a really good point. If it's not the first week of September and I'm wrong, that's fine. Then I'm going to go with what E said. They're going to go the cell phone route. When Apple comes out in September and makes their announcement, they're like, the phone's available in 2 weeks. And that's it, right? So you have a week.
Here's your price, and in 2 weeks we'll see you.
We'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah, you have a week.
Today,
exactly.
And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
I don't know why people don't think. I know people like to say, well, it's not the cell phone thing because you can subsidize your phone. Okay, I get that part. But at the same time, don't think they might not be looking at taking cues from that and saying, you have people nowadays spending over $1,000 for a phone, even though they subsidize.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff that they're putting into these consoles, they're like, we're asking for $600, and there's really no reason that they couldn't say, here's the price.
Microsoft already has a program like that where you go in, like you get an Xbox One, Game Pass, and Xbox Live. Basically, due to your credit, you can go in and like leave without throwing any money down at that point in time, and then you pay monthly the same way people do for their cell phones.
Look at that.
Their cell phone.
No, they definitely have that program, and shout out to NeoSpark for being the only one that talks about it because they don't talk about it.
No.
Yeah, I know, right?
They really don't. Listen, real quick. Let me get a couple of these super chats in real quick. These guys have been really patient. Nuts Clark says and actually it's funny because he said this when we talked about it before, but we came full circle. He says Sony's trying to see if the biggest fanboys will pay the high price tag with VIP pre-orders only. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think it's more of what Crap and Jay were saying, that they're going to go ahead and if you're going through that route of registration, they're going to go ahead and give their elite customers, which is fine. If you've been a Sony customer that's been very loyal to them and giving them the most money, I don't necessarily have a problem with those folks being in front of someone like myself that's recently started giving them money. So Rexman says, I don't pre-order without a price next to it. I know they will tell you it's $700 and I'll be like, no thanks. I don't think we're going up that high. Shout out to Carlos Crespin. Great to have Carlos back in the chat. He says, I like this. No, 700. That would frighten anybody away. No, that's out in the ballpark. Carlos says, in quotes, enough for me. We'll let the games do the talking. End quote. Jim Ryan. Thank you, Carlos, for being here. Appreciate that. Sir X-Man, right? Sir X-Man says, these consoles will not impress me until they can run triple screen like my PC or my 360 was able to do. Then I'll be impressed. TEZ83, we all made PlayStation Nation, says, what's so crazy is Sony's advertising on their website, PS5 8K support 120 frames with 8K output. Xbox just says 8K support, but no output. Support and output are two different things. And Sir X-Man comes back again and says, I said it once, I'll say it again. Sony gets their games out, Microsoft doesn't. Now I wanted to get those super chats through. I appreciate everybody there in the super chat. But, guys, I did want to kind of bring up Gamescom. And I understand that I saw everybody on Twitter.
What?
Right, exactly. I saw everybody on Twitter. Right, everybody was sending out everybody was snoring and like the Z's were all over the place. Everybody was just kind of sleeping through it. But I mean, realistically, there were a couple of games. And Jay, you know what? I'm going to go to Jay Barry here. Jay, you said you had a couple of games just on your radar that you were like, okay, look, these were okay. What games did pop for you?
He going back to World of Warcraft. That's where he going.
Nah. First of all,
this short right there, man.
First of all, that show was hot. garbage. But
glad you said garbage at the end of that. I was going to take
you know what I mean? But yo, what did catch my eye was I forgot the name of the game. Something unknown. It was like the Indian girl. It
Unknown 9.
Unknown 9. That cutscene looked beautiful. The animation, everything. I was like, oh my god, I need to play this game right away.
But Jay, I saw somebody say something right after, and there's no evidence of this on my part at all. I'm asking you. Somebody said that's another PlayStation exclusive, whether it be timed or not. Is that true? I don't think so.
No. It said all the platforms.
Okay,
yeah, I think it did.
That's what I thought too. But somebody was like, "Well, no, Mooch, that's going to be an timed exclusive," and I was like, "I don't think so." But I'll check.
No.
Okay.
Right at the end of the trailer, it showed like the Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, PC.
But that did look fire. Yes.
Another game that looked great was that Chorus. Am I pronouncing that right? Chorus.
Yeah.
Corvus.
Yeah.
Corvus. Yeah, that looks great, man. Watching that, I was like, yeah, I'm in there for there. I'm in for that game. And obviously, Ratchet and Clank, man. Ratchet and Clank looked amazing.
Yes.
Just showing that gameplay without any cuts or anything like that was really smart, because a lot of people was doubtful of the whole SSD thing. It was like, oh no, that's only cut scenes that they doing the little dimensional warping in the different levels and stuff like that. And that gameplay does shut that down. It was like, no, this is actual gameplay. This is
the dimensional warp is the load screen, but it's like 2.5 seconds, man. That's impressive.
Well, I mean,
why are people quiet about
well, the
that?
reason I'm quiet
when he's tumbling through that kind of like void and going into the next one, that's the load screen right there.
Oh, you can control it right away.
Yeah,
you guys see like if you watch David Jaffe talking
I was just
about
bring that up.
That guy, yeah, he was like, this is next level stuff.
Yeah, we never seen nothing like that before. Like it's instant loading the whole world. That's crazy.
Yeah. Exactly. It's
it's like Crap said like too. Is while you're going in between Xbox. Good point in what you're saying, but while you're going in between, you're still controlling the character. It's immersive. It's unbelievable.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I thought I saw the character moving.
The same animation each time. Like each time he does go through that,
you can see him moving the character though.
He tumbles forward. Are you sure that's not just computer guiding him to the next?
No, not only that, but they've also confirmed that there's no loading times. He did the Famitsu interview, and they confirmed no loading times. So,
look, man, that game looked phenomenal. I don't care what anybody say. I try to look at this stuff and, like I say, detach myself from a content creator and be like, dude, just by looking at it, I'm like, I have to play this. And I want that game to be day one. I don't think it's going to be day one because that would be the reason I buy it. Honestly, I'm buying my PS4, even if that game's not day one and I don't get anything else. My PS4 will be sitting there until that game comes out, because that was incredible what I saw, and I just like the environment, just hitting and destroying stuff. Look at the amount of stuff that was on the screen.
Amount of destruction.
The amount of destruction.
There was a lot of stuff going on.
And you didn't see a chug, you didn't see a frame skip. It was like
you noticed the start screen, right?
Yeah, I noticed.
It literally like loads up where you just left off. And it just instantly go right
crazy.
into
it. So what I do, that's the next level to me. And check it out. When people always talk about game design and stuff, because I am a huge fan of game design. Like, what are you doing differently that you weren't able to do before? Now, I play on Xbox because of my friends, and I'm going to get my Xbox Series X because that's where I play the majority of my multiplayer games. But when I play on PlayStation, I know I'm going to get an experience that I wasn't able to get on the previous platform. And that's not a cap or anything. That's just a simple fact that Microsoft hasn't proved to us that they're able to give you those experiences yet.
Yo, can I stop you for a second? Can I stop? I'm gonna let you go back, but I need you to speak from your heart. You understand what I'm saying? You're looking for PlayStation. You're going to get that innovation. You're going to get that next leap forward. Speak from your heart, Forte. Go ahead, bro.
Listen, man. Day one, I bought my PS4 on day one. Day one, I bought it not even knowing there was a God of War game coming. I was like, I got to get the next God of War. That's what I want to play. It took 4 years to happen, but guess what? I finally got it. And guess what? Best game I played of the generation. It was something that really touched me. I was like, I love this. I love the design. I love the innovation. I love how they changed the game to make it more modern to what we're used to playing. And when I see Ratchet & Clank, Ratchet & Clank looks familiar. It looks like what we played before, but those subtle changes, just the reflections, and like Bari said, when you just look at the load screen, it just loads into the game. Those are all subtle things that if you're a person that just enjoys and admires games, you cannot do nothing but get excited for. And the unfortunate thing is Microsoft took two. I'm not saying they can't do it, because I do think Microsoft, in all God being, will get there. I just think they took way too long to decide that what we're doing isn't it. When you finally purchase all your studios in 2017, that was like a red sign to let us know that when the next generation start, you're not going to get those games for the first couple of years. So it's a good thing that they're telling you don't have to buy the platform up front, because all of those games are going to be available for you no matter where you're at. But I just think as a day one purchase, anybody that says PlayStation is not going to give you what you expected to give you, even if they don't give it to you day one, you know you're going to get it at some point during the generation. The biggest difference. And that's why we all on this platform are going to have PlayStations no matter what. Why do you think PlayStation is the number one selling platform ever? It's just because people look at them as, this is my number one system, this is my number two system.
The biggest difference
Nintendo and Xbox fight for number two all the time. They always fight for number two, and Nintendo has just come out on top more times than Xbox has. So that's the only difference between.
We got Phil Spencer talking about how great Nintendo is.
He was talking about Gamescom, guys.
What happened, Xbox?
I'm going back to Gamescom, but the biggest difference that we're seeing here is that what PlayStation is marketing for their next gen console, we're actually seeing that being demonstrated within the gameplay. You know what I mean? Like they hyping up this SSD, they showing you gameplay that's I see what you're talking about. Oh, the DualSense controller. Oh, you have a whole bunch of developers talking about the DualSense and what it's going to be offering with the game and all that stuff. Well, okay, now we got to get in our hands and get hyped for that stuff, But on the Xbox side of things, the things that they're hyping up, we're not really seeing that yet. You know what I mean? And I think they need to push that out there. But going back to Gamescom, if these games was in there, there's probably a game I'm missing, because I think Xbox said a game before we started. But honestly, it was a bad show, but I'm just happy that he ended up.
You said you were talking about 12 minutes, man.
Oh, yeah, 12 minutes.
Yeah, 12 minutes great.
I'm super excited for that game.
That was good.
Yeah. But
I will. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead. You can cut me off.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I heard the pause, and I'm like, basically the main game, Ratchet and Clank looked really good. You guys know when I had a PS4, I was a Ratchet and Clank fan. I was playing that game on my PS4 as well. So that game looked really good. I think for me, and I'm not even like a person on person like war game type person, but that Medal of Honor VR, what they showed with that looked absolutely, because I can imagine we have two VR headsets in the house. I've messed around with them. I can imagine like looking up and having a tank coming over the trench that you're crawling in, and what that is going to actually look like. I thought that looked really good. There was a game, it was a little cartoony game called Staggered. I think it had a unicorn in the background. I'm not even going to say what it was doing, but that looked funny. That looked quirky, stuff like that. But, all in all, man, the show was, dare I say, forgettable.
Yeah.
Like I had to sit here and think about what I saw.
That's because Jeff Keighley made you wait 2.5 hours to see the things that you really wanted to see.
Bro, I took a lunch break for that.
Did you see the pregame? Yo, check this out.
I was at work,
the pregame.
and
they showed Quantum Error, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that
I've
looked
seen
rough.
a lot.
too.
Hold
That
on,
was
I've
tough.
seen a lot of people hyping that game up, but visually, it looks like Fear 1 with ray tracing. That's what it looks like visually. Like I was super disappointed in what I saw from Quantum Merit.
What's that game called? Bright Memory. What's that thing called? Bright Memory. We saw on
Bright
that.
Memory is like
that
10
looked
times better.
That looked like
visually.
That looked like Titanfall with ray tracing. Like I mean, you know what I mean? Like it didn't.
That's better than Fear 1,
Can
sir.
we get Titanfall with ray tracing? Good God.
Yeah, right. That would be pretty good. Let me go to Erica. Erica, what was your shining star from Gamescom, if you could even find one?
Oh, well, okay, to piggyback Bari, I agree with, of course, Ratchet. Ratchet looked really good. I don't even think you mentioned the rift part of it, just like grabbing those rifts and pulling yourself through it and how it just shifts to a totally different dimension and it's just fluid. That was really impressive. So like, yeah, even though it's not realistic graphics, it's nothing like that. It's definitely showing next gen stuff. There's so much stuff going on. I agreed with the other games you said. What's that called? The Unknown 9. That looked really cool.
Very good.
Little Nightmares 2. I don't know if you guys played the first one. I love Little Nightmares. That game looks creepy and I love it. I'm for it. I want it to get more creepier.
They took the creepy up a notch, didn't they, Erica, in this one? It looks like it's way more than this first one.
Definitely.
Yes. I did a reaction for it and I was telling my chat, like, that kind of gave me chills. There was that part where you had the flashlight, and as soon as you moved it to that big character in the background, the character stopped moving. It was like moving after you, and then you put the flashlight, and then it stopped.
Yes.
Creepy as heck.
That literally, that creepy thing you're talking about when they flashed the light on it, it looked like it was right out of, oh, now I'm going to forget there. What was the Resident Evil kind of knockoff? I shouldn't say knockoff, I actually loved it. God.
Evil Within?
Evil Within, thank you. The Evil Within 2's kind of like goriness with the decapitated like creatures coming after you. So I thought they did a really good job with that. And I guess, Eric, I'm going to ask you, but I probably should ask Jay because he was the one that was ranting about it. I'm still missing what the hype is on 12 Minutes besides the fact that William Dafoe's a voice actor now. Where's the lure?
I don't know. It gives me like I don't know if you guys have played like Inside or things like that. Like there's like it's mysterious. I kind of want to know where it leads and like if there's a twist. You know, there's gonna be twists.
Little Nightmares gives me more of an inside feel than 12 Minutes.
Yeah,
I'll give you a quick little reason why I'm hyped for that game. Right, so college, I was always into psychology, and I always loved to profile people. I'm sorry, but all you guys got profiled as we're going through this podcast, right?
Oh, damn!
Oh, damn! I want to know mine at the end of the show.
Yeah, let's see.
Let everybody know I am head of the class now after that profiling. I'm just saying.
Have you guys ever seen this movie called Mindhunters with LL Cool J and all that stuff? Is these FBI profilers and all that stuff?
No,
I didn't see that.
Go and watch that movie. Amazing movie. Mwah. Trust me. Right. So now when I'm like, I like thrillers, right? So I'm looking at this game and it's like you're stuck in this 12-minute loop of you trying to figure out why you're dying or trying to prevent yourself from dying. And it gives me that vibe where, okay, I'm going to have to profile my wife. I'm you know what I mean? I'm profiling the characters to figure out everything. So it's like that FBI movie for me, like Mindhunters. I gotta dive in and I gotta figure this out. So yeah, I'm hella excited for that. And the fact that they add in all of these known actors in there is just going to up the performance quality of the game. So you know you're going to get that immersion from it. So I'm pretty excited for that game, man. I can't wait for it.
It looks interesting. It's like an indie gem. I'm all for the indies, so I like to see little interesting.
I like to see the indies with that production quality, right? So Little Nightmares, 12 Minutes, it has that production quality. Here's one that I'm going to bring up to you guys that, I mean, I see a lot of people ranting and raving about it. It's called Teardown Game. So basically, it's in my opinion, a better looking Minecraft world, right? And you can basically destroy.
Oh no!
Whoa! Lose Mooch?
Oh, did you guys lose me?
he got warped to another dimension.
Did you guys?
Right there, man.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back now. You're back.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I did. I went into the rift. My fault, guys. I literally just almost took the wire out of the bottom of the microphone. 100% Italian. I use my hands to talk. My fault. So Teardown Game, right? You can basically the entire world is destructible, and you have to make the course yourself, and then you activate the bombs that are set up all over, and then you can work your way out based upon how you set the course up, and it's timed. So, and of course, the levels get more and more and more difficult, and the figuring out how to get through or how to make something work, it gets more and more difficult. Do you guys find that to be like, I don't know, I kind of think that like this is just I don't know. I know Xbox is really ranting and raving it. They're pushing it. I don't know if they have a deal for it or what. Maybe it'll be in Game Pass Day 1. I definitely could see that happening. But it just seems like it's Minecraft with like an end result.
In terms of the game, I can definitely see what you're saying. What I'm looking at, and you know, I'm not like excited to play it or anything like that. But the tech that they're using, shout out to my brother Flamish who actually, you know, put this game on my radar strictly for the technology when it comes to the physics. Like everything, you know, falls, interacts with each other. When you're driving a truck over like 2 wooden planks, like the weight of the truck is felt within the structure you're driving over and stuff like that. So that on the technical side of it, like that is really, really interesting. Everything I falls, really interacts about actually playing that game. Yeah.
The only thing pointed out to me was that the destruction looked better than Crackdown 3. My bad, man. I got to show my pony colors a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
No, I mean, we didn't get fully destructible environments from the power of the cloud, and
there you go, crap.
80 times the power of an Xbox One, and you know the destruction was going to stay on the map the full time, and you know you'd be able to go back and look at it, and then what we got was you couldn't even party up with people, and the destruction stayed there.
I'm watching my stopwatch on how far
crazy,
this joke goes, and to keep talking about it. Yeah.
Well, let me. You know the one we kind of breezed over it, but it was
disappointing.
It was presented at Gamescom as well. You know, what did you think of the extended version of what we saw with Cold War? I know we talked about Call of Duty quickly, but we didn't see the multiplayer yet. And are they going? Here's my question though, Jay. Are they going to leave Warzone alone? Is Warzone going to be a standalone where they add maybe a map that correlates with Cold War or something like that? How are they going to tie these two in?
This is my assumption. I feel like they're just going to continue over Warzone until they are ready to put out their own version of BR, because I don't see them taking the gameplay of an Infinity War type, you know, style into a Treyarch, you know, game. You know,
all right.
The feeling is different, but I think this is just to carry people over for now.
So wait a minute, I got to ask you a question. I got a lead up question to that. Is then you're talking about we're going to have a Warzone by Infinity War, and then we're going to have Treyarch's version of a BR.
Yeah, I think that's going to come like 2021. I don't know if it's gonna. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it will transfer over to the Treyarch version, but I just don't see. You have 2 different style of Call of Duty play.
Aren't they changing the Warzone map or something? I thought I saw something on that. There's no with the development cycle. You know, Call of Duty coming out year after year after year. Even if you say like 2021. It's going to be good for like 5 months before the next Call of Duty comes out. I don't see them doing that. I see them working with what's there already. You know what I'm saying? If it's a handoff in terms of developers, if the developers, you know, are working closely with each other, stuff like that. But I don't see them coming out with their own BR per se.
Warzone is big for them. I'll say that, but I have a bias though. I hate Infinity War Call of Duties, and I hate that Warzone that came into the game because you took away from the actual core modes. So I have like a personal grudge.
Yeah, but that might happen again if Jay, if what you're saying just a moment ago comes to fruition, that may happen again if Cold War has their own BR and Treyarch has their own. It may take away from the zombies and the multiplayer that's going on that we're getting in our package.
I'll be more in tune with that because I like how Treyarch the play style of Treyarch Call of Duties are.
See, I like the stories. I like stories better, but I do like Infinity War, man. I think their gunplay is spot on, man. I enjoy. I'm loving Warzone. I'm biased in that sense. I can't stop playing Warzone. Like, there's a reason the reason I haven't beaten Ghost of Tsushima is because of Warzone. Like, every time I'm like, all right, getting all settled in, time to play some Ghosts, I get my phone blows up and it's 3 people being like, yo, Warzone? And I'm like, all right, I just gravitate, like I float over to the PC. So, I don't know.
It is a long game too. Ghost of Tsushima.
Right, it is. That's why I'm saying that'll be my slow burn into the next generation consoles.
Yeah, I see them treating each year of Call of Duty like a chapter, like how Fortnite does, and the seasons in between that. Because I think they did the same thing with Blackout. So after a while, they just phased Blackout into Warzone, and Warzone's gonna. I mean, I don't know how much more they'll change it, but I do think they're gonna have their own unique BR that's gonna be to Cold War. And they're going to consider that another chapter of Warzone or another chapter of Call of Duty's BR. And they'll just run seasons and that until the next one comes. And then it'll be their way of just continually feeling like it's refreshing itself. Because that's the one thing that you don't get like in PUBG and stuff like that. Until they change the map completely, you feel like you're playing the same game. So at least if they do it this way, every year or every year and a half, you're going to get a completely redone version of what BR on Call of Duty is.
True. No, I agree. Guys, it is 9 o'clock, guys. What an awesome show we had. I was going to say I could go longer, but we started on time, so we have no penalty time to kill like in a soccer game after the clock hits 9 o'clock. So, guys, I want to say outstanding show. Thank you so much to everybody in the Super Chat. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thanks to this great panel. I'm going to do it in reverse order. I want to say thank you so much to Erica for being here tonight. Erica, honestly, it is an honor to have you on the show. A lot of people already asking for your return on CrossFire. That doesn't happen very often. So,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I didn't do, I did advertise your YouTube channel, definitely put out your Twitter information, but I did not, you're a big Twitch streamer too. So, I didn't put that out there.
I don't know about big.
Well,
but...
listen, consistency is big. That's just the way it is.
True. All
right?
All right.
Absolutely.
So it's been an honor having you on the show. Let everybody know where they can find you, and thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you. I had fun. That 2 hours flew by.
Absolutely.
That's a good sign. Yeah, thank you to the chat. You guys coming through to the show. Hit the like button for these guys and for Mooch. You can find me everywhere at Eric Cuts for the Win. So Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. I do a lot of Soulsborne content on YouTube. I stream games like Fall Guys and Gears and stuff like that. I also have a bi-weekly podcast called The Backlog with me and another friend on my channel. Shar, shout out to Shar. We do that every other Saturday. So not tomorrow, but next Saturday, we will be live over there on my YouTube. And yeah, just come say hi, come check out the streams. And thanks again for having me. I had fun.
Absolutely, Eric. Then I've got my buddy here, Eric J. Eric, you literally went off. You went off, man, and we don't usually get that from E. I don't know if E, and he didn't go to happy hour, okay?
No,
he didn't. He just had enough. That's the facts right there. E, great to have you on tonight, buddy. We tried to make it work last week, but listen, schedules are schedules. Things happen.
Yeah.
But when I can get you on, it's always a blessing. E, thanks for being here tonight. Let people know where they can find you.
No doubt, man. I'll always answer the call when you can have me on, man. I always love coming on and talking to you guys. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter. EC Jackson with an X. And on Wednesday nights, Brad Podcast with the great Forte, Slow Mo Backslap, B Money, and Enrique. Well, Enrique's sort of great. I don't know if he's like technically, but
shout out to Brad.
Yep. And then Saturday nights, Gaming Perspective, Undead 3XVI, Sam Tolbert, and Rage Virus.
Very cool.
Come by and hang out with us 8 o'clock.
Appreciate that, E. Thank you for being here. And then I got my buddy here, Jay Bari. Jay, absolutely on fire. I got to be honest with you. There's not many times somebody comes on this show and out yells the Mooch, but Jay Bari did it tonight. Okay? So, Jay, shout out to you, man. Thanks for all the support over the years, man. And let people know where they can find you.
Oh, absolutely, man. Sometimes when you got the best list on YouTube, you gotta yell a little bit. But yeah, guys, great show today, man. If you guys are looking for a PlayStation podcast, fully PlayStation centric podcast, What's Up PlayStation podcast tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time. It's a new channel that me and my boy Gamer Persona created, and we just talk about PlayStation news, man. And if you guys, it's going to be a good one tomorrow, because a lot of PlayStation news to talk about and rumors and all that good stuff there. So What's Up PlayStation is the name of the YouTube channel. Let's check us out if you guys are interested. But it was a pleasure. The show was great. Thanks for the invite. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's what I'm talking about, Jay. Appreciate you being here tonight. Then I got my buddy here, Gaming Forte, who literally, You know, Forte, it depends on the Friday.
On fire.
But he is on fire the past couple of weeks. Somebody must have just pissed him off at work, and he's like, let me get home and get on the microphone. I gotta be honest with you,
Halo guy.
Forte, it is just great to have you here every week. Your take on the business and what you do know, and you can put that forth onto the microphone and let the chat know is always just priceless. Forte, thanks for being here tonight, buddy, and let everybody know where they can find you.
Absolutely, man. Gaming Forte everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live. We do 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So definitely check out that content over there. Check us out on Basement Radio Podcast every Wednesday, like my man E. Jackson said. Also, me and my homeboy Slow-Mo. I see you in the chat, baby. Me and him every Tuesday, 9 p.m. going neck to neck with all the Goliaths in the industry when it comes to this stuff, doing those shows and stuff. So come check us out over there where we talk about all the stuff happening over the weekend. Man, it was a great show. Shout out to Erica, man. Look, yeah, man, it's fun, man. This is the thing people don't realize. And as long as you are doing stuff with the people you care about the most, your friends, you will never have a bad show.
Absolutely.
That's so true.
You will never have a bad show. So, yeah, man. So, Bari, always love the perspective that you bring. Erica, you already know how I feel about you. You are one of the queens of this industry. So, continue to keep doing what you're doing. And
that means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Eric, I see you blushing over there. You blushed a little bit after that comment.
Oh, man. How'd you know? Damn.
Hey, you know,
she takes that to
end
my
the
number
podcast.
one.
I can
End it.
End the podcast. No, I'm kidding.
I can see you through the internet.
Seriously, though, thank you guys.
Appreciate that. And Forte, awesome stuff from you. And then I got to be honest with you guys. If you didn't know, we're not really sure yet, but which state gave him his bar license? He used it tonight. So we're going to go ahead and check and make sure it's still active. Xbot 448, which used to have a show on Saturday, but now he does it on Thursday. Xbot, outstanding work tonight, like usual, and your show yesterday. Let people know where they can find you, buddy.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely, I have a small YouTube channel. It is Xbot448. Every Thursday, we go live with the next podcast. Of course, we did one last night. If you didn't check it out, definitely go to that channel and check it out. And there is a new podcast. New episode started last Sunday. So this Sunday, 6 p.m., me and my brother Jamie Moran are going in episode 2 for the Series X podcast. For the Xbox gamer out there, Xbox news, Xbox talk, Xbox entertainment. If you are an Xbox gamer, you need to be there Sunday, 6 p.m.
Awesome, Xbox.
Wait, hold on, Mooch, before you move on. Mooch, before you move on. Did you just realize something that I was purposely waiting to the end of the show to see if this would happen? Do you notice how quiet it is in certain things we didn't hear at this show?
What
did you notice that?
What do you mean? Tell us, please.
Your boy Xbox didn't say his favorite thing.
Oh, that's right.
It is officially
no Forte. Why?
No, listen.
Oh
I'm good
my
with
God.
I'm good. He can say it. He can say it right now. Listen, he can say it right now. Listen, you can say it right now because you know what? That officially lets me know that I don't have to hear it no more.
That's right.
I know he's out of the system. So
that's
I don't. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, he played it.
Battletoads is hot. What are you talking about?
Nah. I like it. I'm not shitting.
Listen, that is Forte. Thank you for bringing it up.
Gamer card was
6 out of 10 Microsoft has released this year.
To be honest with you, so just so Erica knows, literally Xbox 448 screams Battletoads usually at the beginning and the end of every show for the past, I don't know, maybe 12 or 13 months.
Okay.
So the fact that he didn't do it today, I got to be honest with you, it's why my ears felt so great, but Forte brought it up, and we're probably going to hear it again. So
destroyed.
Lucky for all of us. Shout out, and then last of my unscripted podcaster. We've got a show on Sunday, M&C mornings. It's going to be fantastic. Crap Gamer Crap. Let everybody know where they can find you, buddy.
Crap Gamer Reviews.
Look at that enthusiasm. It's fantastic.
He makes two videos a day.
Check it out.
Check out Crap Gamer Reviews, guys.
Sometimes just one. It depends on what's going on.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I know Crap feels the same way. We are so happy to be doing M&C show again. We've got it this Sunday on my channel and next Sunday on Crap's channel, and the turnouts have been amazing, Crap. So
I want Jessica Fam to
thank you, Jay.
You know, I want her to pay for half my PS5 too.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Great, Jessica. She's listening. She's always here. Okay,
No, in
she's
fact,
always
Mooch,
with us. Yes.
Mooch to Xbox One X to begin with.
That's right, I did. Listen, I got news for you.
Damn, man.
But crap, mooching ain't easy. Trust me, you know the work that goes into it.
Man. I know.
It ain't easy.
I don't have it down just yet.
We're all trying to see red out here. We're trying to see red out here. Jessica, where are you at?
Right?
Exactly.
We're all trying to see red. I love it. Oh, I got to use that,
So,
Erica. Erica, I got to use that.
Show. on to watch the Bill and Ted 3. That's what I'm watching tonight. So.
All right, awesome, crap. I appreciate it. Guys, I did miss 3 super chats. I'm going to read them real quick. Sir X-Man, he says, you remember when cartridges had no load times? Eliminator 809 said, just imagine Ghost of Tsushima 2 on PS5. And Sir X-Man comes back and says, my dream is somebody make a Doctor Who game. I don't want to ever leave any super chats unread. But guys, thank you so much. It has been an outstanding night. Guys, again, right below the description is the video I just made. Click that link. Go check it out. Give me a thumbs up and comment. I've asked for it in the video. I want to hear what you guys think, not only about the video, but with the content and what I was describing you. I want to get your opinion on it, and then we'll follow through from there. That being said, we'll see you on M&C Show Sunday, 11:30. This channel, next week on Crap's channel. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Peace out.
Later.
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 Bye.
Later.